Drunk and entered the wrong room, I became the scandalous boyfriend of the campus beauty. He was going to meet his online girlfriend in person, but he ended up going to the wrong room and ended up being the school belle's boyfriend. Song Si was torn between a girlfriend he had been secretly in love with for 3 years and a beautiful school belle. Which one should he choose? He was wavering between the two. He didn't want to be a scumbag, so he finally decided to meet his girlfriend in person, but he found out. Chapter 1: Entering the Police Station. Song Si was taken to the police station in the middle of the night. He was handcuffed by the police on suspicion of rape. He had been sleeping at home when suddenly he was slapped across the face. Then he saw 4 police officers standing in the room, swiftly putting handcuffs on him. "Officer," Song Si panicked, his sleepiness gone. "Officer, did you arrest the wrong person?" "We didn't arrest the wrong person. You assaulted this young woman." "She called the police," one officer said. "What?" Song Si's eyes widened. Only then did he notice a beautiful woman standing in the room, or rather, a girl. But how was she here? Song Si was confused. The young woman was wearing pajamas, her face filled with anger, holding her chest in a defensive gesture. "No, I don't even know you. I was asleep in my house, how did you end up here?" Song Si questioned, feeling it was almost impossible. Was this a dream? Had he drunk too much and fallen into some beautiful dream? No. This wasn't a dream because there were police officers. "Don't scare the young lady. If there's an issue, go to the police station," one officer said sternly, dragging him away. "What should I say?" Song Si felt more wrong than doughy. "Wait, let me get dressed." His handcuffed hands fumbled under the blankets, feeling something soft and round. He pulled it out and stared blankly at it. A nipple cover. Transparent, round, and eye-catching. He couldn't help but take another glance. Under the watchful eyes of everyone, Song Si felt embarrassed and quickly threw it away. The atmosphere was extremely awkward, and Song Si felt like he could dig a tunnel with his toes. "Oh, I didn't touch her, do you believe me?" he asked. The officer looked at the nipple cover discarded in the corner, his face turning red. "This is what we call guilty conscience." In the interrogation room, Song Si reflected on the whole process, still feeling dazed. He couldn't understand how he ended up being accused of such a crime. Name: Song Si. Gender: Song Si laughed. "Do you think I'm male or female?" "Be serious." "I am serious. I'm innocent." Gender: male. Occupation: student. School: Jing University. "I just registered yesterday, and then I went to my rental apartment to sleep. Out of nowhere, you guys arrested me." "Right. The rental apartment." He had come to register yesterday, and after leaving the school, he went to a nearby real estate agency to rent a place. The agent showed him several places, and he chose a clean and tidy 2-bedroom apartment near the school. He moved in directly, unpacked, and then walked around the campus with his good friend Jiang Haichao, who also came to Jing University for registration. In the evening, the two of them went out for skewers and drank a lot. Afterward, he went home, opened the door, and fell straight to bed. There was nothing strange about his actions. How could he be accused of something like this? Confess and get a lighter sentence, resist and get a harsher one. Tell us the truth about your crime. "Officer, I didn't do anything. I don't even know how she ended up in my room." The officer looked at him suspiciously. "You don't know you were in the same bed with her?" The officer's first impression was that he was lying, considering the girl was so pretty, it wasn't impossible for him to be tempted. "I really didn't know." Song Si protested. "I suspect she is attracted to my good looks and is deliberately framing me." "Heh, shifting the blame, huh? You have quite the imagination." The officer looked at him. The young man was indeed handsome, tall, and well built. But his character was questionable. He broke into a girl's room in the middle of the night. "So how do you explain her being in my room?" Song Si asked. "That's a question for you to answer," the officer replied. "I don't know. I didn't do anything to her. I can provide proof, I have the agent's phone number, and my friend can vouch for me. Write down the names and contact information. We'll investigate." An hour later, Jiang Haichao and the agent were brought to the police station. When Song Si saw them, he felt more relieved than seeing his own father. You guys are finally here. I can clear my name now. I'm innocent, you should believe me. Jiang Haichao, of course, believed him. He didn't have the guts to commit a crime like this. Jiang Haichao told the police everything, from the fact that they had arrived together from Jiang City, registered at school, went drinking, and even how many skewers and drinks Song Si had. The agent also vouched for Song Si. I can vouch for my client. When he rented this apartment, he probably didn't know it was a shared apartment. He rented it in the morning, and in the afternoon, the young lady came to rent a room. The girl is also a new student at Jing University. Since they are from the same school, I recommended the apartment to her. She was very satisfied and signed the contract right away. Song Si seized on the key point. You mean she is my roommate? Yes, I sent you a message, didn't you see it? Yesterday afternoon, I went out drinking with Jiang Haichao, and I was so drunk when I came back to sleep. Song Si smiled awkwardly. Officer, this is all a misunderstanding. Can I go now? Wait for the investigation to finish. The victim is undergoing an examination. Song Si was speechless. What kind of examination? Doesn't she know if she was assaulted? What a careless person. She went to a guy's bed in the middle of the night and didn't even realize it. Now he is in the police station in the middle of the night. What a false alarm. Damn it, on the first day of school, this big misunderstanding happened. He was so pissed off. Song Si mentally made a note to himself to remember the girl who caused him this trouble. He felt she was a disaster. Half an hour later, Song Si was released without charge. Back at his rental apartment, he lay on the bed, feeling more frustrated. He opened his phone and messaged his online girlfriend. Yes, he came to Jing University to meet his girlfriend in real life. They had agreed to both apply to Jing University, and to have a passionate relationship, living up to their youth. He tapped on the WeChat profile picture. Opened the chat. Sent a message. Little squirrel, Tang Tang, have you arrived yet? Big lion, I arrived yesterday afternoon. What about you, Song Song? Little squirrel, I arrived too, yesterday morning. When should we meet? Wait a bit, I ran into a weirdo. Song Si panicked. He quickly sat up, wishing he could meet his online girlfriend immediately. But unfortunately, they had been talking online for 3 years, acting as soulmates, but they had never seen each other in person. They didn't even know each other's real names, just their surnames. The past 3 years of high school were too exhausting, and they never had the time to think too much. Are you okay? It's fine, just forget it, it's my fault, I went into the wrong room in the middle of the night. How could this happen? Song Si had been so worried. It's fine, don't worry. I wasn't harmed. Song Si sighed with relief, but now both of them had had a rocky start to their first day at school, and he felt even more frustrated. His urge to vent was stronger. Not to hide it from you, I also met a strange person. She climbed into my bed in the middle of the night and accused me of assaulting her. Forget it, I won't tell the lion about this. Chapter 2, The New School Belle. The more he thought about it, the worse it got. He decided not to let her overthink it. What happened? What is this oddball thing? Nothing, I'll tell you in person when we meet. Alright, I'm going for breakfast now. MHM. After ending the chat, Song Si threw his phone aside and went to the bathroom to wash up. There was no one in the living room. The oddball probably hadn't come back yet. Well, out of sight, out of mind. It was the first day of school. Jiang Haichao introduced him to his 3 roommates. Gao Yingjun, a tall, handsome guy who lived up to his name, big and strong. Chu Huaisheng, also good looking, but Song Si felt he was even more handsome than him. Wang Haoyang, a typical big eater, a 200-pound chubby guy. He introduced himself, saying he could cook and entertain guests well. Song Si laughed lightly. I'm not looking to set up a blind date, stop flattering yourself. Wang Haoyang laughed heartily. Har har, brother Si, you're so funny. After introductions, the 5 of them quickly bonded, even discussing where to go for their first group outing. Tomorrow's military training starts. Let us get through these 2 weeks first. We should meet some of the girls in our class. Wonder what the girls from the computer science class 6 are like. Don't make your intentions so obvious. I'm here to find a girlfriend. My grandma wants me to bring one home for National Day. After Wang Haoyang's declaration, the group burst out laughing. It was still an issue in the making, and Wang Haoyang was way too eager. Not caring at all, he slyly peeked toward the girls' group. Quiet. A middle-aged man walked up to the podium and spoke, "Hello, everyone. I'm your counselor, Zhang Wenxuan. We'll spend the next 4 years together. Today, it's mainly for introductions. Starting tomorrow, we begin a half-month military training. If anyone has physical issues that prevent them from engaging in strenuous activities, let me know in advance, and I'll take note of your names." As soon as Zhang Wenxuan finished, Jiang Haichao tried to stand, but Song Ci kicked him in the calf, making him stumble and sit back down. Jiang Haichao grinned awkwardly, "Hee, I was just thinking of skipping military training, how about we both sign up for an exemption?" Song Ci scoffed, "And the reason? We'll just say our legs are injured." "I'm fine. Walk a lap, and let me see where your leg is hurt." Jiang Haichao lost interest and gave up on skipping military training. Just as Wang Haoyang from the back row was about to stand, he quietly stretched his legs out. "Forget it. It's just 2 weeks of sun exposure. If the girls aren't scared, then neither can he." Zhang Wenxuan scanned the class. There was no one who wasn't participating in the military training. Fortunately, no one was chickening out. He was relieved, recalling the previous year when, as soon as he mentioned military training, 3 students claimed they couldn't participate due to health reasons. He believed them, but the next day, they were seen jumping around in the basketball court like nothing was wrong. After this, head to the office to collect your training uniforms. This afternoon is free time. Since there are many class tasks, we'll select a class monitor. Anyone interested can volunteer. The class fell silent. No one raised their hand. No one wanted this job. "Brother Ci, you want to take on the role?" Jiang Haichao looked at Song Ci. Song Ci shook his head, "I don't have the time." "Anyone willing to volunteer?" Zhang Wenxuan asked again, but there was still no response. He scanned the room and spotted a handsome student. The handsome guy in the first seat of the 6th row. Chu Huixing immediately stood up and rejected the offer without hesitation. "Teacher Zhang, I don't have the time." The class erupted in laughter. Chu Huixing was confused, what's going on? Wang Haoyang felt embarrassed. "Hurry and sit down. The handsome guy in the 6th row is Brother Ci, we're in the 5th row." Chu Huixing. An awkward silence. "All right, we'll go with this student then," Zhang Wenxuan said to ease the awkwardness, directly appointing Chu Huixing as the class monitor, not allowing him to refuse. Jiang Haichao and Wang Haoyang laughed until they were holding their stomachs. Gao Yingjun flexed his arm, showing off his muscles, and joked that Chu Huixing didn't look tough enough for the job. Song Ci looked at Chu Huixing's back and gave him a nudge. "Bro, I'm counting on you. Go away. I think we each have our strengths. I'm the best looking, no arguments. You're the feminine kind of handsome. I'm the masculine kind. Stop showing off." After receiving their military training uniforms, it was already noon. The 5 of them went to the cafeteria together. "Brother Ci, last night you had a lot of fun. How come I didn't get such good luck?" "Har, you're jealous I got thrown in the police station. Die under a peony, and you'll be a ghost with charm, right? Besides, it was all a misunderstanding. Brother Ci, tell us, how was the girl's looks?" "Looks?" Song Ci thought about his beautiful housemate and reluctantly said, "She was a monster." The 4 of them immediately stopped feeling envious or jealous, and all looked at him with sympathy. "Bro, you've suffered. Look. A beauty." Wang Haoyang shouted. The group immediately looked toward the direction he pointed, and saw a charming girl walking ahead. Just from her back, they could tell she was probably a campus belle. The girl wore a ponytail, a student outfit with a plaid short skirt, and a white blouse. Her figure was perfectly outlined, curvy and graceful. The 5 of them stood frozen, staring. After walking a few steps, they got a clearer view of her face, and Song Ci's mind went blank. He felt like he couldn't breathe. It was none other than the girl he had called a monster earlier, the housemate who had caused him so much trouble and dragged him to the police station in the middle of the night. "It's you?" Though he harbored some resentment towards her, Song Ci had to admit she was stunningly beautiful. At the cafeteria, the girl was surrounded by many boys. Song Si and his friends couldn't even get close enough to join the group and could only look on from the edge. That freshman just walked in and already surpassed the campus belle. She deserves to be the new campus belle. I'm thinking of striking up a conversation. Do you think she has a boyfriend? Who knows, she's new here. I think she's way more beautiful than the campus belle from the senior year, Luo Wanqing. She's got that cool, aloof vibe, a real ice-cold beauty. Song Si glanced at the girl quietly eating, surrounded by boys. He could barely make out her facial features, but even from her profile, she exuded beauty. She vaguely reminded him of Meng Zi, a true beauty with exquisite features, big eyes, a swan-like neck, and a slender figure. Really want to have a beautiful encounter with the new campus belle. I want her WeChat. Do you think if I buy her water tomorrow during military training, she'll notice me? The most over the top was still Chu Huaishan, striking a pose. I'll find out which department she's in. Tomorrow, I'll buy 999 roses and confess to her. I'll tell her I fell in love at first sight. The four of them racked their brains trying to figure out ways to hit on the girl, but Song Si remained indifferent on the outside. Inside, he thought, I live under the same roof as her. I can reach out and touch her anytime. You guys can be jealous all you want. Chapter 3 Youth is for Struggle. Brother Si, it's your turn. Gao Yingjun showed off his big muscles and urged Song Si to make a declaration to flirt with girls. Song Si said lightly, don't talk about flirting with girls all the time, don't give others expectations and fantasies, so that I don't have to pretend hard, and the other party won't have to regret and disappointment. Har har har. Brother Si is really good at pretending. He is afraid of being tormented by women. He went to the police station on the first day of reporting. It's sensational enough to tell people about it. Once bitten by a snake, you will be afraid of the rope for 10 years. Brother Si is miserable. Song Si was speechless. Eat yours, one by one, for fear that others don't know you are wretched. Free time in the afternoon. Song Si shook off the for followers and hid in the small pavilion beside the playground to finish coding today's update. Yes, since the third year of high school, he has started serializing novels on the website, using immature writing to write passionate stories. It was getting dark. Song Si checked it and published it. He stretched his arms and prepared to go to the cafeteria for dinner. On the way, he saw a familiar figure. He walked a few steps quickly, and when he saw the man's face clearly, he secretly said that enemies often meet on narrow roads. Weird was coming out of the cafeteria and walking towards this side. Song Si quickly turned his head away. He didn't know why he didn't want to have too much contact with her. Although she was beautiful, he was not a person who was attracted by beauty. Classmate, your meal card fell. Just when Song Si thought he could escape, a clear and pleasant female voice interrupted his plan. He turned back and met her gaze, and both of them were shocked. It turned out to be you. Thank you. Song Si picked up the meal card and thanked her, one thing for another. Just now, he pretended to pass by her as if nothing had happened, put his hand in his trouser pocket, and took out the meal card. Fortunately, she reminded him. You're welcome. The other party stared at Song Si for a second, and perhaps thought of what happened at night, and replied unhappily, and walked away. What an attitude. Song Si muttered, and also walked towards the restaurant. After dinner, he returned home. The living room was quiet, but the lights were on. It took him a few minutes to wash up and hurried back to his bedroom. It was really troublesome to share a house with a girl. The key was that there was only one bathroom in the living room. When he was taking a shower just now, the heat from her shower had not dissipated yet, and the fragrance filled his lungs, which made him feel very ambiguous. After washing quickly, he took his own shower gel and quickly hid back in his room. If there was nothing important, he would never come out and be a coward. Jiang Haichao sent a message, asking him why he went back. He was speechless and sent a voice message to him, if I don't come back, where will you live? You can really live here. Chu Huaixing is a day student and his home is nearby. He doesn't live here at night. Song Si thought this was a good thing. Instead of living with a woman, it's better to live in a dormitory with 3 rough men. I paid half a year's rent. Can it be refunded? I'll ask the agent. After the chat, Song Si took action immediately and called the agent, but the agent said that the rent could not be refunded. Song Si was a little depressed. The agent kindly comforted, "The girl is so beautiful, can't you be more active and talk to her?" "What to talk about? I don't want to talk to someone who put me in the police station." "Who asked you to talk? It's not okay to talk about love." Song Si was speechless. "Brother, you should change your career to be a matchmaker. You have the potential." In the next room, Tang Shisher lay on the bed, holding up her phone and chatting with her bestie. "I'll give you a handsome guy. Someone took a photo of him in the cafeteria at noon today. It went viral on the school website. Yu sent a picture." Tang Shisher clicked it and saw the cafeteria in the background. 4 or 5 boys were eating together. The boy in the middle was particularly eye-catching. He looked really good, but his temperament was a bit soft. She immediately noticed the boy on his left. It turned out to be him. Roommate, pervert next door. But that kind of flamboyant, masculine temperament was very eye-catching and pleasing to the eye. Yu complained again. In less than an hour, the handsome guy was exposed. He is from Computer Network Class 6 and his name is Ju Huaishan. Tang Shisher didn't care. "Why are you telling me this? Sister is good to you. I think such a handsome guy deserves to be with you. I'll make an appointment for you tomorrow." "No, you should keep it for yourself. I like muscular men. He is too weak." Tang Shisher smiled. "Then do you think I don't mind his weakness? Because he is handsome, other things can be ignored. I tell you, you really should have a relationship. You have been a hard worker for 3 years in high school. You ranked first in the city in the college entrance examination. It's a pity for such an excellent person not to have a relationship. Youth is for struggle." Tang Shisha added. If she didn't work hard, how could she fulfill her promise with him? That man was equally excellent. She was afraid of being left behind by him. Coming to Beijing University to study was a two-way rush they had agreed on long ago. They would start a vigorous love here. Just go for it. I hope you won't have any regrets. No regrets. How can there be regrets where that person is? I hope this is the beginning of a good thing. After finishing chatting with her bestie, she tossed and turned and couldn't sleep. Song Song said she wanted to meet, but she hadn't made up her mind yet. The key is that there is a pervert living here. If she meets Song Song, she will inevitably run into him. It's easy to be misunderstood when they meet in a melon field. She regretted renting this house. It rained at night and it didn't stop the next morning. Song Si went out to get an umbrella. As soon as he walked out of the community, he saw a girl making a phone call under a big tree opposite. He hurried over to remind her, "Classmate, it's best not to make a phone call outdoors in this weather, especially under a big tree." When the girl turned around and saw that it was Song Si, she was stunned for a moment and quickly ended the call. "Thank you." She put the phone into her bag as if nothing had happened and thanked him expressionlessly. Song Si also had a blank expression. "No, I will remind everyone. I thought there would be no thunder." You can't stand under a tree and talk on the phone even if there is no thunder. This is common sense. Tang Shisher was speechless. Only then did Song Si realize that she didn't bring an umbrella. All her clothes were soaked. I don't know what went wrong with him, but he actually had the thought of sympathizing with her. The corners of his lips twitched, and he reluctantly moved the umbrella towards her. The two of them walked towards the school side by side. As they got closer, Song Si could smell the faint fragrance on her body. I don't know if it was perfume or the fragrance of shower gel mixed with shampoo, which was similar to the smell in the bathroom last night. "Thank you." "You're welcome." The picture of the two of them holding an umbrella together in the rain had been taken by a nosy classmate. The front photo was not very clear, but it should not be difficult to distinguish from the back. People who are familiar with them can recognize them. The two of them walked into the teaching building together, and Song Si discovered that GBA was also in the computer department, and was just one classroom away from him. Chapter 4, The Fairy Who Fell to Earth. You are in Class 8. It's no wonder Song Si was surprised, because there are very few girls in the computer department. He didn't expect that such a weird girl was also in this department. Yeah. Tang Shisher nodded and thanked him for holding the umbrella for her, which saved her from the rain. There are few female students in the computer science department. What do you want to say? Sure enough, his good temper didn't last more than 3 seconds, and he felt alienated and rejected again. This woman gave people the impression of being cold, noble and out of touch with reality. Although she was pleasing to the eye, she lacked a touch of gentleness and cuteness. His Tang Tang was definitely not like that. Go away quickly, if you don't leave, she will think he wants to chat with her. I went to the classroom. After saying that, Song Si put away his umbrella and walked towards his classroom. He was right. Tang Shisha really thought he was going to hit on her. Since high school, she had been indifferent to countless confessions of love from boys, whether overtly or covertly. Indifference had become her protective color. Oh, isn't this brother CI? Jiang Haichao showed his cell phone to his roommates. I won't mistake him even if he burns to ashes. Wang Haoyang found it incredible, this back view. It's really brother CI, sharing an umbrella with the new school beauty. Is this a successful pickup? Oh my god. Is he crazy? Gao Yingjun was shocked, he acted so quickly. Chu Huaixing had an expression that said, you can't judge a person by his appearance. Brother CI is a man who does big things quietly. He just met the new school beauty yesterday, and today he succeeded in hooking up with her. It's rocket speed. The main thing was that yesterday in the cafeteria, they were all peeking at the new campus beauty, but he acted calm and composed, with a look of disdain as if he regarded women as clothes. It's raining today, so military training can only be conducted indoors. The 4 single guys were originally quite happy. After all, they didn't have to be exposed to the sun. However, when they saw the photos that went viral on the school website, they immediately felt unbalanced. It's like the rice is served, but before you can even put down your chopsticks, someone takes away the rice bowl with it. It's so infuriating. This is how the world is. What worries us most is the scarcity of wealth and the inequality of distribution. We are all freshmen, why should you have such a beautiful girl in your arms while we can only eat vegetarian food? Song Si entered the classroom at this time, when his good friend's resentment reached its peak. Jiang Haichao saw him first and shouted, Brother Si is here. Song Si walked into the classroom and wanted to say hello to them, but found that no one paid any attention to him. He felt puzzled. Are you dumb? Wang Haoyang sneered, I won't talk to a scheming boy like you. I'm not scheming at all. Song Si thought to himself. He did a good deed by holding an umbrella for someone, and his clothes got wet, but he didn't even get a thank you from them. Look, the school network has gone crazy. Jiang Haichao handed him the phone. Song Si took it and found that he and Weird were on a hot search. The photo of the two of them holding an umbrella in the rain went viral, and someone even wrote a short essay titled, The Rumored Boyfriend of the New Campus Beauty. The content was particularly wonderful, describing the story from falling in love to knowing each other, with great passion and emotion, no less than a short romance novel. The comments were full of sour words. The boys were jealous and vowed to expose him. This guy is really quick to act. He stretched out his evil claws right after the new school beauty was selected. He's in that class, I want to steal his love. Look at the location, the computer, narrow the search area and find him. Tang Shisha is mine. I fell in love with her at first sight. TSK, I saved a photo of her divine face and licked the screen at night. The guy above is so shameless, stop spitting. The cool and beautiful school beauties can only be admired from afar and not touched. Do you blind vagrants know what respect is? Song Si only remembered one name, Tang Shisha. It turns out that the weird girl is called Tang Shisha. After returning the phone to Jiang Haichao, he said nonchalantly, Isn't today military training? Are you killing time by watching these things? What do you mean? You don't want to tell the truth. Gao Yingjun raised his arms, showing off his biceps. What do I confess? You're already living together, why are you still pretending? I admit that I am the rumored boyfriend of the school beauty. I have been eyeing her since the first day of school and I am pursuing her. Song Si was too lazy to waste time talking to these 4 monks and just wanted to get by with them. All 4 of them were shocked. Jiang Haichao didn't quite believe it. They had known each other since birth and were neighbors living on the other side of the wall. After so many years, he knew Song Si very well. He also knew that he had a first love online, but they hadn't met in person yet. Being tempted by beauty is definitely not his style, he is not that open-minded. Before we could verify, we saw a man about 185 centimeters tall, with a buzz cut, a strong build and wheat-colored skin walked in. The students immediately sat up straight. No need to ask, this man was the instructor. Hello, students. I am the instructor of our class 6. It is raining today, so we will be doing activities indoors. Let's play games. Do you have any good suggestions? The instructor asked after looking around. The whole class was silent. The instructor smiled and said, then I suggest we play the game of passing the flower. The rules of the game are as follows: clap your hands and say the name of a flower. Students who can't say it will be punished. The students felt that this game was a bit childish, but rather than being exposed to the sun, they were willing to cooperate with the instructor. Come on, first student in the first row, start. Then, the first student stood up, clapped his hands, and said, peach blossom. The second student immediately followed up, pear blossom. Third, apricot blossom. Fourth, lotus. Behind Chu Huaixing was Song Ci. At first he was paying attention to what his classmates were saying, but as the game progressed, he became distracted. The image of holding an umbrella in the rain appeared in his mind. At a close distance, he could see the girl's face clearly. Her fair skin and delicate features were stunning. Her long hair like a waterfall fluttered in the wind. She was simply beautiful beyond words. She was wearing a white dress, which was ethereal and perfectly outlined her exquisite and graceful figure, like a fairy who had accidentally fallen into the mortal world, with an otherworldly aura, noble and unattainable. Song Ci was attracted at that moment. He had to admit that this girl's appearance and temperament were truly top-notch. Plum blossom. Chu Huaixing said and sat down immediately. When it was Song Ci's turn, he had not yet come out of his memories. It's your turn. Jiang Haichao kicked his calf. Song Ci stood up immediately, looking confused. Har har. The instructor looked at him cunningly and said, we agreed not to pause. It's been 3 seconds and you still haven't said the name of the flower. Accept the punishment. The instructor smiled triumphantly, choose between push-ups and singing. Song Ci's face immediately turned red when he realized something. He was actually distracted by something weird and was punished. It was so embarrassing in front of the girls in the class. He accepted the defeat and chose to sing. Song Ci quickly adjusted his state and concentrated on singing. Chapter 5, School Beauty Delivers Water. Song Ci sang Wang Sulong's A Little Sweet Love Song. However, as soon as he opened his mouth, he shocked the whole class. Pick an apple. Wait until you pass by the door. Delivered to you to quench your thirst. You are the right role at the right time. Already agreed. You broke into my heart like this. It's you who let me see the dry desert. A flower blooms. The classmates did not expect Song Ci to sing so well. The key was that he sang out the soul of the song and made the classmates intoxicated by his singing. While Song Ci was singing, Tang Shisher's face involuntarily appeared in his mind. He didn't know why, but a voice reminded him not to fall in love with someone else, but he couldn't get rid of Tang Shisher's shadow. Finally, the face of the online girlfriend and Tang Shisher overlapped. You make me want to do it for you every day. Write a love song. Use time to miss. Love is a little sweet. This wish will not change. A girl took out her cell phone and secretly took a video of this. She wanted to post it online so that the whole school would know that there was a singer in their network class 6. After Song Ci finished singing, there was warm applause. The girls looked at him excitedly, their eyes full of envy and admiration, but not jealousy. Song Ci felt embarrassed by their stares, so he said, I'm sorry to show my poor performance, and sat down, lowering his head, at a loss as to what to do. The girls whispered. Oh, Song Ci really surprised me. I told you, he got the new school beauty, how could he not have some talent? Yes, I think he conquered the school beauty with this song. I want him to conquer, too. As for his good buddy, Jiang Haichao gave him a thumbs up, awesome, bro. Chu Huaixin, it's just so-so. If I were on stage, I could sing better than him. Gao Yingjun raised his arm and threatened, if you say that again, I'll beat you up. Wang Haoyang couldn't help laughing, brother Yingjun, brother Ci not only conquered the girls, but also you. Gao Yingjun said, I am willing to be conquered by him. All 4 of them glared at him. Song Ci said disdainfully, no, go conquer someone else. The sky cleared up after the rain in the afternoon. The students stood at attention on the playground under the scorching sun. Compared with the comfort of sitting in the air-conditioned classroom in the morning, this situation makes people want to die on the spot. Sure enough, after experiencing good things, who would want bad things? The instructor glanced at the flushed faces under the military caps, and felt very satisfied when he saw their sweat flowing from their faces to their necks. Suddenly, his eyes fell on a fat man, student 13 in the second row. Step out. You little bastard, you actually fell asleep while standing at attention, who allowed you to? The 13th person in the second row, Jiang Haichao, rolled his eyes and whispered to Song Ci, "It's Wang Haiyang." Song Ci asked, "What happened to him?" Jiang Haichao was also confused. At this moment, Wang Haiyang had not yet stepped out. Wang Haiyang. The instructor took out a piece of paper with the names of Class 6 written on it from his pocket, checked it, and shouted at Wang Haiyang. Wang Haiyang was dreaming about eating pork elbows. When he heard someone calling him, he opened his eyes instantly and blurted out subconsciously, "I haven't finished eating yet, wait a minute." Har har har. The students burst into laughter. Jiang Haichao cursed, "Foodie." Gao Yingjun felt pity, "It's over, brother Haiyang is going to be in trouble." Wang Haiyang, step out. At this moment, Wang Haiyang finally regained consciousness. He saw the situation clearly and walked out of the queue in annoyance. "Instructor, I was still asleep." As soon as he said this, everyone burst into laughter again. Sleeping while standing at attention. The instructor said sternly, "Sure, I'll wake you up. Run 10 laps around the playground." Hurry up. Yes. The body reacted faster than the brain, and Wang Haiyang rushed out of the queue like a cannonball. Just when everyone was shedding tears of sympathy for Wang Haiyang and felt that everything was fine, the instructor suddenly spoke again, "Extend the military posture for 40 minutes. Why? Find faults in every way. We didn't sleep." There were people whispering in the team. The instructor had good hearing, so he naturally heard it, and sneered, "You just laughed, and that's the reason for the punishment." Jiang Haichao, "Instructor, I'm not laughing." The instructor shouted, "If one person makes a mistake, the whole team will be punished." Jiang Haichao. All the students tried to hold back their laughter and felt like their stomachs were about to burst. Song Ci glanced at Jiang Haichao with a look of regret, "Are you stupid? I want to fight for myself." "What are you fighting for? You're trying to reason with the instructor. Do you think you have an extra head?" The river and sea tides are speechless and choking. The scene was silent. "I feel like all the sweat on my body has been drained away. If I continue to stay in the sun, blood will come out." However, looking at the fat man running outside the playground, everyone felt much more balanced. Time went too slowly and the students had a hard time. Finally, when the instructor shouted to stop, they quickly ran under the tree. Then, he found a place to sit down like a dead pig. Wang Haiyang still had 2 laps to finish, so the Brotherhood group sent Gao Yingjun to visit him. The remaining 3 people sat there with their backs to each other, looking very carefree. "Jiang Haichao, it's so hot. I wish I had a bottle of Pulse. Chu Huaishan, I want to drink Red Bull. If I don't replenish my energy, I feel like I'm going to die." Song Ci thought that having a bottle of mineral water was good enough, so why be picky? Several classes were resting under a tree, and most of the people under another tree were girls. Yu Wanwan bumped Tang Shisher's arm and said, "Well, your rumored boyfriend is over there." Tang Shisher looked towards Song Ci and found that the 3 of them were squeezed together, with their thighs stretched out wide enough to accommodate several people. She said coldly, "I didn't have any scandal with him. The man holding an umbrella for you in the rain has gone viral on the school network. Whatever you want to think." Thinking of the scene when their pervert held an umbrella for her, it would be a lie to say that she was not moved. The umbrella tilted towards her and half of his body was wet. She looked at the pulse in her hand, stood up and walked towards him. Chu Huaixing saw a girl walking towards him from afar. She was wearing the same camouflage uniform, but he couldn't see her face clearly. When he saw the girl's face clearly, he stood up suddenly. Song Ci and Jiang Haichao lost their balance and fell on their backs. "Fuck, what are you doing?" Jiang Haichao was about to curse, but when he saw the girl standing in front of Chu Huaixin, he was dumbfounded. "Oh shit, there's a girl delivering water. Being handsome is different." Song Ci also saw Tang Shisha, and a hint of disappointment flashed in his eyes. As expected, girls all like pretty boys like Chu Huaixin, and weirdo is no exception. Chu Huaixing couldn't contain his excitement and was about to reach out to take it, but Tang Shisher walked around him and went straight to Song Si. Song Si was lying on his back in a daze. When he saw Tang Shisher walk up to him, he was a little at a loss as to what to do. How long are you going to lie on the ground? Happiness came too quickly. Song Si quickly got up from the ground and looked at the girl opposite with a blushing face. Are you looking for me? Here's the water. Tang Shisher handed the pulse to Song Si, turned around and left. Not another word. The remaining 3 people were stunned. Fuck, when did the new school beauty fall for you? Song Si said proudly, I've already told you that I'm his rumored boyfriend. Chu Huaixing asked, what about me? Jiang Haichao scolded him, your question is very stupid. Song Si held the bottle of pulse, feeling his heart pounding. He ignored the envious and jealous looks of the people around him and hid aside to calm himself down. Chapter 6. It's you. No, he had to talk to Tang Tang for a while, otherwise his heart would beat out of his chest. Little squirrel, Tang Tang, where are you? Big lion, I'm resting under the tree. What are you doing? Just now. Song Si decided to tell the truth, just now a girl brought me water. You are quite charming. You have attracted the attention of girls as soon as you arrived. What am I? Don't get me wrong, I'm telling you, don't worry. You are my girlfriend. Although his heart has been shaken, it is still within control. Song Si felt a little guilty and sent the little lion a screenshot of the photo of the couple walking in the rain that had gone viral online. The male protagonist in this photo is me. It's not my fault that I'm having an affair with the new school beauty. It's just an accident. Let me explain it to you. On the other side, Tang Shisher was holding her cell phone, looking at the picture with complicated eyes, and the corners of her lips curled up. It's you, it's fate. Shisher, look. Yu Wanwan held the phone in front of her and raised her chin. Hurry and take a look, your boyfriend is on the trending search again. I didn't expect that he can sing so well. This time, Tang Shisher did not refuse. That person is indeed his boyfriend. When she clicked on the video, Song Si's singing voice came out with an electric current, and Tang Shisher raised the corners of her lips. It turned out that her boyfriend was a treasure boy. Not only can he write great articles, he can also sing, and he sings really well. Did she find a treasure? Tang Shisher's brows relaxed, and her heart was filled with joy as she watched Song Si singing Wang Sulong's A Little Sweet with great emotion. She also liked this song very much and practiced it many times in private. She sang it for her fans in the live broadcast room and gained more than 2,000 followers overnight. That's right, she is not only a freshman student now, she is also a Daobao anchor. Yu Wanwan didn't notice her best friend's expression. She was already mesmerized by Song Si's singing. Wow, my ears are pregnant. Tang Shisher looked at her exaggerated expression and found it a little funny. Is it really that nice? Of course, I think he sings better than Wang Sulong. His voice has a masculine quality. Although Wang Sulong's slightly immature voice is also very nice, I prefer pure manliness. Tang Shisher couldn't help but tease, do you still like muscular men? Of course. I have the same physique as Lin Dayu. I am weak and delicate and can be easily pushed down. Should I find a strong man to protect me? Tang Shisher glanced at Yu Wanwan's slightly plump figure and didn't want to criticize her. Lin Dayu weighing 130 pounds. Wang Haoyang ran 10 laps and was exhausted. Being carried by Gao Yingjun, he came to the tree like a drowned rat. He sat down without caring whether the ground was dirty or not. His sweaty camouflage pants were immediately covered with dirt. Chu Huaixing stayed away from him, looking disgusted. You are so sloppy. Jiang Haichao quickly handed over the mineral water. Drink slowly, don't choke. Song Si also came over and said, you can't drink fast after exercising too much. Gao Yingjun offered his back considerately. You can lean on me when you are tired. Wang Haoyang drank 2 sips of water and was so moved by the brotherhood that he didn't know whether it was tears or sweat that flowed down Big Fat's face. Wang Haoyang said, I will remember the instructor. I am a vindictive person. He treated me like this, and I will never forgive him. Jiang Haichao asked, do you want revenge? Chu Huaixing had already thought of no less than 10 ways to take revenge on him, and he immediately offered advice. First, when he goes to the toilet at night, put a sack on him. Second, throw a snake into his lounge. Third, find a girl to go to his room, and then we catch him in the act and destroy him directly. Jiang Haichao, fuck, you are so sinister. Chu Huaixing was smug. I'll stick my neck out for my brother. Gao Yingjun said, I can't help with anything else, but I can put on the sack. Song Si felt that these guys were too much of a show-off, and advised them, you can be rude, but don't do stupid things. Jiang Haichao looked at Wang Haoyang, what are you going to do? Wang Haoyang said, I appreciate your kindness, brothers. I have a better solution. What? The four people asked in unison. Wang Haoyang smiled slyly, I will buy him a big pork elbow, let him fall in love with food, and turn him into a 200-pound fat man. Puff. Jiang Haichao sprayed a mouthful of water directly onto Chu Huaixing's face, making him jump in anger. You are so dirty. Jiang Haichao was embarrassed. I couldn't help it, I didn't mean to make you drool. Song Si was speechless. Sure enough, the world of foodies was different. He said, your method of revenge is a bit weird. Wang Haoyang, I just want him to eat until he becomes a fat man and to make sure he can't find a girlfriend. Too childish. Chu Huaixing felt that Wang Haoyang's idea was particularly shameful. Song Si said, there are still 14 days left. Just bear with it and you'll get through it. Everyone, be careful in the future and don't let the instructor catch you. Everyone is looking forward to the military training ending soon. Wang Haoyang stared at several girls in the class. In the computer science department, the gender ratio was seriously unbalanced. There were 42 people in their class, but only 10 of them were girls. The number was small, and the quality could not be guaranteed. His grandmother asked him to bring his girlfriend home during the National Day holiday. I wonder if this wish can come true. You have such a vulgar look in your eyes. Chu Huaixing stared at this guy and found that his eyes were rolling around, aiming at the place where the girls gathered. Jiang Haichao said, there are only a few girls in the class. We must protect them as the key targets. If anyone tries to do evil to them, I will let Gao Yingjun beat him up. Gao Yingjun agreed with Jiang Haichao's point of view. He raised his arms and the outline of his biceps was really obvious. He naively thought that as long as they were in the same class, they were brothers and sisters, and even rabbits would eat grass in their own backyard. If anyone attacked his sisters, he would beat him to a pulp with one punch. Wang Haoyang quickly retracted his gaze and drank the mineral water obediently, secretly cursing the two of them for being idiots. He knew that those who are close to the water get the moon first, so how could they not know it? Just now he had aimed at his prey, a quiet-looking, petite girl with a student-style haircut and bangs that completely covered her forehead. I don't know if she was hot or not. The girl was a little short, but that wasn't a problem for him. He was tall and strong, so he liked this kind of little potato. Wang Haoyang's eyes narrowed into slits, and he thought to himself that he would avoid those two guys and ask Chu Huaixing, the military advisor, to see how to strike up a conversation with Xiao Chudu and get his WeChat account. At this moment, Song Si also looked towards the big tree where Class 8 was resting, and saw from a distance Tang Shisha sitting with a girl. The girl was holding a mobile phone in her hand, with their heads put together, talking and laughing, and no one knew what they were looking at. The school beauty actually smiled. This is quite rare. He thought Tang Shisha always had the same expression. Her noble and holy temperament, like the snow lotus on the Chenshan Mountains, with her icy face, gave people a sense of distance. Cold, noble, and unattainable. Chapter 7 Wuxiang Jingqi Water, a must-have for picking up girls. Although it is unattainable, men all want to conquer mountains. For example, now, Song Si found that the eyes of the boys in Class 8 have become spotlights, and almost all attention is on Tang Shisha. He was disdainful. As expected, he had a big head but no brains. He saw with his eyes and thought with his lower body. However, with so many hungry wolves staring at Tang Shisha, he still felt a little upset. I have to find an opportunity to remind her and keep her away from the wolf's den. The second content of the military training is weighted cross-country running. After 3 days of training on the playground, we moved to the field on the 4th day. Weighted cross-country running is that one person carries a 20-pound backpack and walks 20 miles of mountain road. The location is chosen on the mountain south of the school. This was formulated by the instructors based on the situations of several classes. They originally wanted to reduce the amount for girls, but when they thought about the large number of boys in the class, they gave up the idea. No need to ask, just want them to do free labor. When Chu Huaixing brought the news back to the class, it was immediately in an uproar. Oh my god, this is going to kill people. Running 20 miles with 20 kilograms of stuff on your back. This is going to eat human flesh. The key is to share the burden with the girls. I feel the pain in my shoulders now. It's 20 miles. Should I run or walk? Walking is fine, but running is not. I can't run. I'm exhausted from standing at attention under the sun for a few days. If I do more intense exercise, I feel like I'm going to have a heart attack. No, I'm going to the infirmary to get a certificate. I'm going to take a leave tomorrow. You are so smart. If I could ask for leave, I would have gone there a long time ago. After all, Chu Huixing is the class monitor, and he has to cheer up the whole class at this time. He stood on the podium and glanced at the girls in the class. He couldn't help feeling a bit of pity. He decided to prepare some Wuxiang Jingqi water so that he could provide emergency treatment if any of them fainted from the heat. If you're a man, stop yelling. Look at how little you have done. The girl hasn't said anything yet, and you're still trying to make excuses. Aren't you ashamed? Jiang Haichao muttered to Song Ci, of course they won't complain, their backpacks are carried by others, I don't want to be the scapegoat, although I feel sorry for my sisters. I'll carry her on my back. Wang Haoyang, who was sitting in the front row, pricked up his ears. He felt excited when he heard this. He thought that if Little Potato got tired of walking tomorrow, he could do free labor for her. It's just a bag, it's not like I can't carry it. He thought about taking a bottle of Wuxiang Jingqi water, otherwise he might get heat stroke on the way. It would be hard to say what happened as the mountains were high and the road was long, and there was no infirmary. Chu Huixing has returned to his seat and arranged the class affairs. He also has to give some instructions to his brothers. Bring more wet wipes tomorrow to wipe your sweat. Also, prepare a bottle of Wuxiang Jingqi water. That's what you need to take care of heat stroke. Don't prepare water. We only have water in our backpacks. If you are thirsty, just take it out and drink it. Wang Haoyang felt that the instructor was quite humane and his impression of him changed. The more you drink, the lighter the bag will be. If I drink all the water halfway through, won't I have to carry an empty bag down the mountain? It's up to you, but you probably can't finish 20 bottles of water. Wang Haoyang said he could drink it all because he had a big stomach. Song Ci decided to stay in the dormitory tonight. He felt it was more comfortable to be with his brothers than to go back to the rental house. After dinner, the five of them went to the supermarket to buy things. Song Ci bought 2 packs of wet wipes. He didn't use them normally, but the weather was too hot and wiping sweat with wet wipes could help cool him down. In 3 days, his wheat-colored skin had been tanned into bronze, while these rough guys had all turned into niggers. Chu Huixing is the most effeminate one. His pretty face is very sun-resistant and he hasn't gotten any tanned in a few days. He didn't go back tonight either. He finally gathered enough people and prepared to start the game. Brother Ci, get me a bottle of sunscreen spray. In the cosmetics area, he waved at Song Ci. Song Ci was speechless. Why are you, a grown man, going to the cosmetics section? I don't want any sunscreen spray. It feels hot when I spray it on my face. No, if you don't meet up with your online girlfriend after the military training, she will think you are a scoundrel. Song Ci didn't care, she's not that superficial. Men are evil by nature. Don't do that. Many girls like my skin. Haven't you seen the film and television industry? All the male actors wear makeup. Chu Huixing took a bottle of sunscreen and said, forget it. If you don't want to buy it, just use mine. Song Ci thought to himself, if I use that thing, my brothers will definitely laugh at me. Where is their Wuxiang Jingqi water? Did you get it? Chu Huixing asked again. Song Ci spread his hands. No, I think that stuff is too hard to drink. Besides, I won't get heat stroke. The others didn't take any either, but Song Ci seemed to see that only Wang Haoyang took a bottle. Chu Huixing looked disappointed and said, it doesn't necessarily have to be for you. We are going to have a field training this time. All 8 freshman classes will go. If the students in the next class need it, we have to prepare something as well. Song Ci said, you really enjoy helping others. Chu Huixing smirked, it's better to be prepared. Think about it, even men like us can't stand it, let alone girls. If a girl gets heat stroke, we can save her. Feelings are used to seduce girls. Song Ci was hesitating whether to buy it or not. when he saw several claws each taking a bottle, and Wang Haiyang took another bottle. Song Si was speechless, out of the question. Forget it, he'll take one bottle too. In case the school beauty gets heat stroke, he can help others for once. On their way back to the dormitory, Song Si sent messages while walking. He has been in Peking University for 4 days, with 1 day for reporting and 3 days for military training. During these 3 days, he has been sending messages to Big Lion, asking her when they would meet, but she always said to wait. Song Si was speechless. Why was he still waiting? This guy was deliberately keeping him in suspense. Jiang Haichao said, in this case, it is basically certain that the other person is not very good looking. Online dating is risky. 9 out of 10 people who meet in person end up in failure, and the remaining one is still gay. He used an analogy and said, there is a saying that goes, it is better to see the scenery than to look at it. From a distance, it looks beautiful and generous, but from close up, it looks sad. Song Si felt that he would not be so unlucky. They had been dating on WeChat for 3 years, and it was not difficult to tell from the other person's circle of friends that the other person was a girl. As for her appearance, every time she posted on WeChat Moments, she never posted her photo, so he still didn't know her true face. The most common things posted as scenery, cosmetics, bags, food, etc. It can be seen that the other party has high taste. He doesn't have high requirements for appearance. He said to his brothers without shame, I am colorblind, and I have a vague definition of the words pretty and beautiful. Chu Weisheng asked, do you think your rumored girlfriend is pretty? She's the new school beauty. He said against his will, I can't feel it. We were all defeated by his hypocrisy. He thought to himself that of course she was beautiful, but he couldn't reach her level. Little Squirrel, Tang Tang, are you ready for the field training tomorrow? Big Lion, I'm ready. Tell me what you have prepared. Little Squirrel, wet wipes, Wuxiang Jinqi water. My roommate asked me to prepare sunscreen spray, but I don't think it's necessary. Chapter 8 Hello Sister-in-Law. Big Lion, sunscreen spray not only prevents darkening, but also protects against the sun and prevents ultraviolet rays from damaging the skin. Little Squirrel, oh. No matter how many benefits it has, he won't use this thing. Tang Shisha looked at the bottle of sunscreen she had specially prepared, and checked the time. Song Si had not returned yet. So where does he live? Thinking of something, she pulled out his WeChat ID, registered an account with another phone and added him. Now he doesn't know that she is his girlfriend, and may think she is just a roommate. The sunscreen spray is prepared for him, so I have to find a way to give it to him. This is what she sells in her live broadcast room. During this period, sunscreen spray has been selling very well. It is only natural to prepare a bottle for your boyfriend. Song Si was chatting with his girlfriend when a message popped up on WeChat. He clicked it and found that it was his roommate who wanted to add him on WeChat. Song Si didn't find it strange. After all, they live together, so it would be convenient to get contact information. If you don't bring your keys that day, you can borrow them from her. He clicked through. My roommate sent me a message, you didn't go home today? Song Si, no reply, sorry, I forgot to say hello to you. Roommate, where do you live then? Song Si, in the dormitory, I will squeeze in with my good friends. We will have a field training tomorrow, so I want to go to bed early. After sending the message, Song Si felt that Tang Shisha was not at all shy in chatting. She asked him if he had returned home and where he lived. Was she checking up on him? The key point is, he didn't feel disgusted at all and actually replied to her honestly. My girlfriend hasn't even checked on me, what does she mean by this? Do you think of him as your boyfriend? Thinking about her cold personality, I felt that I was overthinking. There was no movement from the Big Lion, and Song Si guessed that she might have fallen asleep. After all, there would be a tough battle tomorrow. Just when Song Si thought that there was no news from Tang Shisha, she suddenly sent another message. Roommate, I prepared a bottle of sunscreen spray for you. I'll give it to you tomorrow. Song Si was confused. What is this for? Give him Pocari Sweat today and sunscreen spray tomorrow. Are you taking the initiative and pursuing him? The point is, there was a misunderstanding a few days ago, and he saw how fierce and hateful she was towards him. Are you letting bygones be bygones so quickly? Song Si, thank you. Roommate, yeah. His roommate showed him kindness, and he appreciated it. Thinking of her cold personality, it was rare for her to take the initiative. He replied, "Thank you for the sunscreen spray. I'll treat you to a meal some other day. Or, if you need help, you can come to me. Roommate, a bottle of sunscreen spray, don't feel bad about it. Song Ci, not only the sunscreen spray, but also today's pulse, thank you for that." Tang Shisha on the opposite side covered her mouth and laughed. She didn't expect that he would be so polite to a woman he was not familiar with. She had been dating him for 3 years, but he had never been so polite to her. Now that the person has changed, the attitude has changed. It seems that she has to act a little cooler in the future and not send him messages actively. After the chat, Song Ci kept thinking about Tang Shisha's purpose in meeting him. Maybe she had a good impression of him, but it didn't seem like that. On the first day of military training, he kindly held an umbrella for her and walked her to the classroom door. He asked one more question and she immediately became alert. The mocking and disdainful look in her eyes, as if she was looking at a pervert, instantly chilled his desire to help others, and he made up his mind to ignore her. I didn't expect that she would come back and approach him actively. I really couldn't understand what she was thinking. Forget it, let her think whatever she wants. He can't figure out a woman's mind anyway. 4 people in the dormitory were playing games, and the noise was very loud. Song Ci was lying on Jiang Haichao's bed, rejecting the invitation of the 4 people to play together, and preparing to finish coding today's update. 2 hours later, he finished today's update, threw down his phone, but couldn't fall asleep. His mind was wandering. Sometimes he thought about meeting his girlfriend in person, and sometimes he thought about whether Tang Shisha would give him a sunscreen spray tomorrow. In the end, he actually regretted not going back. If he had gone back tonight, the bottle of sunscreen spray would have been his. Song Ci felt that he was weird. He obviously didn't like to spray this kind of thing, but he was still full of expectations. The next morning, the 5 of them went to the cafeteria to have breakfast together. The restaurant was already full of people. The 5 of them ordered their meals, took their trays, found a table, and sat down to eat. Chu Huixing looked at Song Ci, "Your snoring startled me last night." Song Ci replied without hesitation, "You disturbed me by playing games last night. Hey, stop talking to each other. You're all so noisy. I didn't sleep well last night and I have dark circles under my eyes." Jiang Haichao looked at the other people. Except for Song Ci, everyone else had panda eyes. TSK, in this state, he will definitely fall behind in today's cross-country race. We are going to walk, right? Who can run with 20 bottles of mineral water on their backs? Chu Huixing said, "If you can't run, just walk." Few people can run up the mountain, except for sports students. As soon as he said this, his brothers felt relieved. It seems that the instructors have to train according to the situation. These people cannot bear overload training. Just as he was concentrating on eating, Jiang Haichao's elbow suddenly nudged him. He lost his grip on the chopsticks and a small wonton fell into the bowl. "What?" Jiang Haichao motioned for him to look up. "The school beauty is here to see you." "Hello, sister-in-law." "My sister-in-law is here." "Sister-in-law, please sit here." "Sister-in-law, sit next to brother Ci." Before Song Ci could react, he heard 4 people being courteous to Tang Shisha. Wang Haoyang even gave up his seat and wiped it with his sleeves exaggeratedly. "Sister-in-law, sit here, it's clean." Tang Shisha looked at the 4 people who were so enthusiastic, especially when she was called sister-in-law in public. Her face suddenly turned red, and she said, "No, I just want to give Song Ci a bottle of sunscreen spray." As she spoke, she took out a bottle of sunscreen spray from her bag, handed it to Song Ci, and instructed, "Spray some on your neck as well to prevent UV damage." Song Ci's heart was surging at the moment. He quickly took the spray and said, "Thank you." He asked again, "Have you had breakfast?" If you don't have food to eat, he can treat you. Making friends requires give and take, otherwise others will just give and end up in trouble sooner or later. "I've eaten. You can eat now," Tang Shisha said, then turned and left. There was a commotion at the scene, and the students watching were all cheering. Song Ci yelled angrily, "I didn't eat breakfast, don't blame me if you don't have the energy to go off-road. Let's go and eat." "Oh, the school beauty and Song Ci are real. You saw it all. Yesterday I sent water, today I sent sunscreen spray. Who else would do this for a guy except a girlfriend? You're right. Song Si is really lucky. He has won the heart of the school beauty right after arriving at the school. The students who were watching were talking a lot, but Song Si pretended not to hear and just buried his head in his food. However, his brothers did not let him go either, and they were all very sarcastic. Chapter 9 Cross Country with a Load. Chu Huaixing said, "No wonder you didn't buy the sunscreen spray, it turns out someone gave it to you." Wang Haoyang said, "Sister-in-law is so beautiful. I was nervous just now." Fortunately, Brother Ci has seen a lot of things and he is not panicking in this situation. He is really a role model for us. Jiang Haichao yelled, "It's over, don't even bother meeting him now. Brother Ci has already chosen the school beauty and has forgotten his first girlfriend." Chu Huaixing cursed, "You scumbag, you fall in love with someone else when you see a beautiful woman. I see that you are immersed in the gentleness of the school beauty and have completely forgotten your wife." As he spoke, he moved away from Song Si with his plate, muttering, "We need to stay away from Chen Shimai." Gao Yingjun raised his arm towards Song Si, "I can't stand scumbag men." Song Si was speechless and rolled his eyes at the group of people. "Please don't be so obvious about your envy and jealousy, please, just eat your meal. Also, you scared her by calling her sister-in-law just now. Is it possible for you to joke like this?" The four of them kept silent and ate together. After dinner, we gathered in the classroom. The instructor asked the boys to carry their backpacks to the playground, organized the team, and set off immediately. Song Si carried his backpack, which contained 20 bottles of mineral water and weighed 20 kilograms. It seemed easy at first. But it was different for girls. Song Si secretly glanced towards Class 8's team, his eyes locked on the girls' team, and soon targeted the tall figure. Tang Shisher was carrying a 20-pound backpack and felt very tired at the beginning. As the team moved forward, she felt that her back was getting heavier and heavier, and her shoulders were painful. She could only grit her teeth and persevere. Song Si felt pity and thought that the instructor was still not being humane. There was a huge difference in physical strength between boys and girls, so they should be made to lose weight. Song Si was not the only one who thought this way. Wang Haoyang felt so distressed when he saw Little Potato walking in front of him that he secretly cursed the instructor for being a beast. His favorable impression of him suddenly dropped to freezing point. It was only 3 miles from the school to the foot of the mountain, and the remaining 17 miles were all mountain roads. It became increasingly tiring and difficult to walk. Not to mention walking another 17 miles up the mountain, several girls couldn't hold on even after just reaching the top of the mountain. They were sweating profusely from the heat and squatted on the ground, not wanting to get up. The classmates hurriedly took out water for them to drink, and some boys in the class also took their bags with sympathy so that they would not be left behind. But after walking another 3 or 4 miles, the team gradually broke up. Some people walked in front, some fell behind, and people from several classes were mixed together, and it was impossible to tell which class they were from. Fortunately, they all prepared Huaxiang Jingqi water. They drank a few sips on their way and gulped down a few more gulps of water, so they avoided getting heat stroke. The boys were more relaxed. They kept drinking water on the way, and the mineral water in their bags was consumed seriously. Some of them had already finished a quarter of it. "Oh no, if I walk any further I'll get blisters on the soles of my feet." Chu Huaixing found a stick and used it as a crutch. Jiang Haichao hung on Gao Yingjun like a human pendant, which made Gao Yingjun curse, "Can you stay away from me? I'm dying of heat." Jiang Haichao said, "I miss you too. My legs are useless when I'm away from you. Do you want to abandon me?" Wang Haoyang kept looking back. He could see Little Potato just now, but now he couldn't see him anymore. He was panicking. Could he have fainted from heat stroke? Song Si said, "Let's go check them out quickly. After all, they are girls from our class, and we can't just leave them behind." Several people went back. Song Si knew that Tang Shisher was also following their team, and he had been keeping an eye on her, but now he didn't see her. He was also anxious and prepared to look for them at the back. On the way, he met classmates who had caught up with them and asked them. He then found out that the main group was still at the back and the group in the front was all boys. Song Si secretly breathed a sigh of relief and hurriedly followed the 4 people back. "Let's walk slower and stop being so competitive. Let the boys from other classes overtake us. It's not like we're competing." I don't know why you're walking so fast. Wang Haoyang kept complaining. Just now he suggested walking slower, but Chu Huaixin said that the boys from other classes had overtaken them and urged them to catch up. Now that's good, we walked 2 more miles back and forth. Wang Haoyang said, you have a straight male mentality. You are the class monitor, but you don't care about the girls in the class and just rush forward. Chu Huaixin said, what do you mean, you like that girl in our class, why didn't you say it earlier? If you farted earlier, I will give you a chance and let you be a free laborer. Jiang Haichao and Gao Yingjun both looked at Wang Haoyang, which made Wang Haoyang feel uneasy. He smiled awkwardly, we are all in the same class. The girls don't have enough physical strength to begin with, and they have to carry a 20-pound bag. Shouldn't we help them? And you too, tall and strong, said you would protect the girls in our class. Is this how you protect them? Jiang Haichao and Gao Yingjun felt a little embarrassed by what he said, and promised to find a girl in the class to carry their backpacks for them. After walking for a while, they saw classmates one after another. The girls were walking at the back. Wang Haoyang spotted Xiao Tudou at a glance and ran over to show his courtesy. You must be tired. Give me the bag and I'll carry it for you. Meng Tang was suddenly embarrassed when faced with such an enthusiastic boy. No need, I can hold on. You're welcome, let's help each other. After saying that, without waiting for Meng Tang to refuse, he directly pulled the backpack from her back and slung it over his shoulder. Fortunately, he came down early, otherwise someone else would have gotten there first. Meng Tang thanked him repeatedly and took out a wet towel for Wang Haoyang to wipe his sweat. Song Si and the others were stunned. Are they hooking up like this? Chu Huaixin said, look at Fatty Wang, his real interest is not in drinking. Jiang Haichao had an expression that said, I already knew it, on his face. I already knew this kid was restless, but I didn't expect him to take action so quickly. Gao Yingjun said, as long as he doesn't go too far, I will still show mercy. Song Si looked at the 3 idiots and felt speechless. He said, Fatty Wang is better at picking up girls than you guys. There are 9 girls in our class. Hurry up. Everyone was exhausted and sweaty, and no one wanted to carry half their weight. But when they saw that the girls were too tired to walk, they felt embarrassed to leave them and walk alone. In the end, several people had an extra backpack. Song Si asked other boys in the class to share the girls' backpacks, so that it would be much easier for the girls to walk. A few people sat under a tree and drank water, trying to catch their breath before continuing. At this time, I heard someone shouting from below. It seems like he is calling Brother Si. I heard that, too. Go down and take a look. Song Si quickly got up and walked downstairs. When he turned a corner, he saw Tang Shisha and a girl sitting under a tree to rest. They were now halfway up the mountain, and could see the top clearly from below. Song Si wondered if Tang Shisha saw them in front of her. Chapter 10, The School Beauty Has a Boyfriend. Song Si, hurry up and carry Shisha's bag. Yu Wanwan saw Song Si and waved to him. She was the one who called him just now. Song Si saw that Tang Shisha's little face was sunburned, sweaty, and very weak. He knew that she had exhausted all her strength and reached her limit. He quickly walked over, took out a bottle of mineral water from her bag, unscrewed the lid, and handed it to Tang Shisha. Drink some water first. Tang Shisha took the water, gave Yu Wanwan a glare, and drank it in small sips. After drinking the cool mineral water, Tang Shisha felt her burning throat felt much better. Just now she didn't have the strength to get water from her bag, and she just wanted to sit up on the tree stump. She asked Yu Wanwan to get her a bottle of water, but this guy called Song Si over directly. It was a good thing he came, otherwise it would have been so embarrassing. But knowing that Song Si was her boyfriend, she didn't feel so conflicted anymore. Yu Wanwan was more relaxed. She gave her backpack to the boy halfway through the journey and took a bottle of mineral water. She said to Song Si, do you know how many handsome guys wanted to carry Shisha's backpack along the way, but she refused them all. She said she had a boyfriend and he would help her carry it. Song Si was surprised, you have a boyfriend? After saying that, he took a step back and kept his distance. Tang Shisha found it ridiculous that he was so anxious to avoid suspicion with her. Well, you guys should take a rest before you go. The instructor doesn't ask you to walk fast, as long as you can reach your destination. After saying that, Song Si was about to leave. Yu Wanwan was anxious, you're not going to help Shisha carry her backpack. She has a boyfriend, so go find her boyfriend. In fact, he also has a girlfriend, and she is in the military training team. She might be watching him, so he still has to avoid suspicion. Ever since he sent her the photo of the couple walking in the rain, Tang Tang must have known who he was. She hadn't met him for such a long time, so maybe he was observing him secretly. If she saw him giving a backpack to a school beauty, she might argue with him. Yu Wanwan was so angry that she stomped her feet, and Tang Shisha didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Finally, the two of them found a wooden stick and carried their backpacks forward. Yu Wanwan complained, "What a big pig's hoof, don't you understand, he is my boyfriend." Tang Shisha said, "We have only had rumors, we are not boyfriend and girlfriend, and we have never confessed our love. Then he can't abandon us and go away. Maybe it's to avoid suspicion." Why does he want to avoid suspicion? Maybe he has a girlfriend. He's out of his mind. He doesn't want a beautiful girl like you, but he wants to find a girlfriend. He doesn't know how to compare and find the best one. Tang Shisha frowned slightly. Doesn't that mean that he has fallen in love with someone else? He is not worthy of being entrusted with your life if he can be seduced by another woman so easily. Although Song Si didn't carry the backpack for her, he withstood her test of him, and sure enough, he didn't let her down. Jiang Haichao looked back from time to time and saw two girls carrying backpacks and walking with difficulty. He nudged Song Si's arm and said, "Brother Si, aren't you going to help the school beauty? She has a boyfriend, it would be bad if her boyfriend saw it." "Oh my god, I thought you were her boyfriend, but it turns out she's already got a boyfriend. So who are you?" "I'm a roommate." "Yeah, you have a girlfriend too, why don't you meet her after the military training, or else the opportunity will be gone." "You'd better wait for me to order." Chu Huaishan, who was walking in front, deliberately slowed down his pace and patted his shoulder to comfort him. "Brother Si, I don't think the school beauty is suitable for you. There are so many people chasing after you. If you are her boyfriend, the pressure will be very great." Wang Haiyang looked at Meng Tang, who had taken off her burden and was walking in front of him, and felt secretly proud. "See, Xiaotudu is still the best, no one pursues her, and I don't have that many competitors either." The school beauty brought water and sunscreen spray to Brother Si. "I thought she was attracted to him, but it turned out that he had a boyfriend. Now he was so happy but alone. I regret calling her sister-in-law. It's so embarrassing." However, since his good friend was dumped by someone, he also had to say a few words of comfort. "Brother Si, don't feel sad. After all, you still have your first love. If this one doesn't work, you can chase that one. You don't like women." Song Si was speechless. "There's nothing wrong between me and the school beauty. We are all friends. You are just overthinking it." Wang Haiyang immediately retorted, "Can there be pure friendship between men and women? Don't deny it. You were interested in the school beauty, otherwise you wouldn't have walked over to see her. But when you found out she had a boyfriend, you backed off immediately." Chu Huaishan said, "You want Brother Si to have two relationships at the same time." Wang Haiyang said self-righteously, "Brother Si also wanted to do it, but he didn't want to do it." Song Si listened to the two people whispering and couldn't help but look back. Tang Shisha and her good friend were carrying backpacks, walking slowly, and had kept some distance between them. He couldn't help but wonder, did he really have no feelings for Tang Shisha? There is a voice in my heart saying that the feeling is still there, but as I said, it is still within the range that can be controlled by reason. After the cross-country race, the team was exhausted. I tidied up my house in the afternoon. Compared with cross-country running with a load, this is a more technical job. It was easier for girls while boys were clumsy. However, under the guidance of the girls in the class, they were able to fold the quilts into a shape, just a little worse than a tofu block, an irregular one. In the evening, Song Si refused his good friend's invitation to stay and returned to the rental house instead of staying in the dormitory. It's been 2 days, he has to come back and change his clothes. Tang Shisha came back earlier than him and was in the living room. No, what did he see? The goddess was facing away from him, and he could only see her delicate and slender back. She was wearing a milky white silk suspender skirt, and the straps had been torn off, revealing her alluring white shoulders. She was applying ointment on her shoulders, and her movements were a little clumsy. Her body was slightly tilted, and the opening of the suspenders was not small. From the side, one could clearly see the bra wrapped in sexy lace. The visual impact was too great, Song Si subconsciously swallowed his saliva and wanted to step out and open the door again, but Tang Shisha had already seen him when she heard the door open. Their eyes met, and she quickly pulled up her skirt. Song Si saw that her shoulders were red, and the blush on both shoulders was shocking. Tang Shisha looked at him resentfully and said, "I thought you weren't coming back." Song Si didn't understand what her look meant. Was she blaming him for not giving her a backpack? But she has a boyfriend. Why didn't I see her boyfriend carrying her backpack? Isn't he her boyfriend a freshman? Song Si stepped in, closed the door, and said, "I have to come back to change clothes, that." He felt a little embarrassed. "Do you need help?" The red spots on both shoulders caused by the backpack are obvious, which is heartbreaking to look at. Thinking of this, he walked to the sofa, picked up the plaster, and said to Tang Shisha, "Don't worry, I will only apply the medicine to you." He now regretted not carrying her backpack. If he hadn't cared too much at the time, perhaps she would have felt more relaxed. Chapter 11, Meet in Person. No need. Tang Shisha hurriedly stopped him. Although she knew that the boy in front of her was her boyfriend, she still couldn't bear her shoulders and back in front of him. Song Si was a little embarrassed, and his hand holding the ointment froze in mid-air. "You may have misunderstood me. I'm not the kind of person you think." It was a misunderstanding from the beginning, and he didn't leave a good impression on her. He was really drunk that night, but even so, he slept obediently in his own room, in his own bed. She had walked into the wrong room. "I swear to God, he is not a beast." "I know." Tang Shisha noticed his embarrassment and said quickly, "I'm done, thank you." "Oh well." Song Si put down the ointment, went back to his room to change clothes, and then carried the basin into the bathroom. "Throw the clothes into the washing machine, set the timer, and take a shower yourself." Tang Shisha was still sitting on the sofa, staring at the bathroom door. Although she felt a little resentful of Song Si for being so slow-witted, she had to admit that he had a strong sense of boundaries in dealing with people, which she admired. He was not like the other boys in the class who were always courting her. Apart from the night they slept in the same bed, he did not do anything inappropriate. In fact, she did walk into the wrong room that night. She went to the bathroom in the middle of the night, and the two bedrooms were opposite each other. She turned into Song Si's room in a daze, and then got under his blanket. When she woke up, she found herself hugged tightly in a man's arms. She was scared at the time, thinking that a bad guy had come in, and even thought that she was violated by this bad guy. They called the police directly and Song Si was taken to the police station, but it turned out to be a false alarm and a big mistake. When Song Si came out of the shower, he saw Tang Shisha still sitting in the living room, eating a plate of washed grapes. Just as he was about to go to the bedroom, he heard Tang Shisha's cold voice, "Don't you want to eat?" Song Si was stunned. Seeing Tang Shisha pushing the glass fruit plate out, the meaning was obvious. He quickly responded, "Okay." Song Si sat on the sofa, picked up 2 grapes and put them in his mouth. He glanced at Tang Shisha secretly and wanted to take out his phone to take a photo and send it to his friend's group. "See, I'm eating grapes with the school beauty." After thinking about it, he gave up the idea. It was too childish and not suitable for a literary youth like him. When I saw Tang Shisha sending messages, I remembered that I hadn't contacted my girlfriend for a day. I took out my phone, opened the chat interface, and saw that the pinned avatar had already sent several messages. "Big Lion, are you tired from carrying heavy loads and going cross-country today?" "Big Lion, I was so tired. When I got home, I saw that my shoulders were red and painful." "Big Leo, I really want to cry on your shoulder." Seeing this, Song Si felt heartbroken as if he was being stabbed by a needle. He replied, "Aren't there any boys in your class who help you carry your backpack? You really don't know how to be gentle with women." However, after sending this message, Song Si regretted it. If other boys help her carry her backpack, then what does he count as? "I feel very conflicted." The Big Lion replied, "Yes, there are, and I rejected them all." Song Si thought it was a good idea to refuse. Those flies only know how to catch eggs and bite them. You must not be fooled. "Little squirrel, you've been tired. Let's get to know each other sooner. Not only can I carry your backpack for you, I can also offer you my shoulder to lean on. You can lean on me as long as you want. I'll give you my whole embrace." "Big Lion, I think so too. We should maintain some mystery. When the opportunity comes, I will recognize you." "Little squirrel, the flowers I was waiting for have all withered. You can't torture me like this. It's very painful. Little squirrel, also, I have a heat stroke and there is no one to take care of me. I feel lonely, empty and cold. After typing, Song Si sent an aggrieved expression. When Tang Shisha saw this message, she looked at Song Si, who was happily eating grapes, and the corners of her lips curled up. She complained in her heart, men are quite cute when they lie. It's a bit pretentious. I have completely forgotten that the person in front of me is an online writer who has been writing novels online since high school and can speak sweet words fluently. She gave me her entire embrace and flirted with me in the middle of the night without realizing it. Tang Shisha posted a hug emoticon and wrote, "Comfort the great writer. Change the subject quickly, otherwise you will be provoked again. Big Lion, you didn't give backpacks to the girls in your class." When Song Si saw this message, his heart was alarmed, and he thought to himself that it was a good thing that he didn't give the school beauty a backpack, otherwise it would be troublesome. Little squirrel, no, my shoulders can only carry your backpack. Tang Shisha felt her face turn a little red, and her heart softened. What a stinky man, he just kept saying sweet words. Tang Shisha felt that if she stayed any longer, she would definitely be exposed, so she quickly said to Song Si, "I'm going to rest first, you should go to bed early too." Song Si looked up and saw Tang Shisha's face was red and her neck was thick, so he asked hurriedly, "Your face is so red, don't you have a fever?" Tang Shisha gave him a glare, "You'd better wait for me to order." "I'm sorry, I thought you were not feeling well." "No. Good night and go to bed early." Tang Shisha said this and quickly went into the bedroom. Song Si wondered, why does it feel like the school beauty is about to run away in a panic? After entering the bedroom, Tang Shisha was no longer afraid. It was just a tease, so let us see who can tease better. The two of them have been chatting online for 3 years, and they have even called each other little darling, so what is there to be embarrassed about? She lay down on the bed, shaking her legs, and began to fight back. "Big Leo, your shoulders belong to me, your arms belong to me, what else belongs to me? Little squirrel, what else do you want? Lion, what can you give? Little squirrel, my whole body is yours." Tang Shisha started blushing again. When it comes to sweet talk, she really has to admit defeat. I can't challenge him anymore, or I'll be drowned by the love words of that bastard Song Si. She changed the subject. "I heard that the freshman welcome party is quite grand, do you know what the theme is?" Song Si heard from Chu Huaisheng that this freshman welcome party was very unique, like a masquerade ball, designed to test the students' tacit understanding. "Little squirrel, I heard from the monitor that it was a masquerade ball. Will you join in?" "Lion, what about you?" Song Si thought, "If you participate, I will participate too. It would be best if you can give me some hints. Then we can meet each other directly when the time comes. It's really unbearable to be kept hanging like this all the time. Little squirrel, I risk my life to accompany a gentleman. Look, I have done this much, why don't you give me some benefits?" "Big Lion, what benefits do you want?" "Little squirrel, let us meet in person right away." Tang Shisha seemed to be thinking about something. "Big Lion, okay, as long as you can recognize me at the masquerade, I will agree to meet in person." Song Si was so excited that he almost threw his phone away. The new trend is surging. He is about to meet his girlfriend in person. He has waited too long for this meeting. I just don't know what Mount Lu really looks like. If it is just as Jiang Haichao said, 9 out of 10 couples who meet in person end up not being together, and one of them is gay, then we will be in trouble. After so many years of relationship, as soulmates and a warrior of pure love, he has been guarding their love with great care. God shouldn't play tricks on him, right? Song Si felt uneasy. Chapter 12, Meat Buns and 8 Treasure Porridge. Song Si was still worried. Type a line on Baidu, "How good is your online girlfriend?" Soon, Baidu gave a very straightforward answer. Generally speaking, it will not be too high, because when an online lover meets in person, the two parties may have a gap between their real appearance and their online image due to beautification on the internet, such as the use of beauty filters, etc. Please do not have too high psychological expectations of your online love partner. Song Si felt disappointed. Although he said in front of his brothers that he didn't care about appearance, saying it was one thing and actually being in trouble was another. If you really meet a Feng Jie, it would be better to let his first love be shattered. Leave each other with a beautiful memory and then never see each other again. Looking back at the few words he had spoken with Tang Tang, he felt that she was a lively and lovely girl, sometimes quite enthusiastic and generous. When he called her big darling, she would reply little darling, which was really likable. But often girls with this kind of good mentality are fat and happy, and may even be a little fat girl weighing 150 pounds. That's really embarrassing. What should I do? Song Si felt a little upset. This kind of uncertain situation makes people feel most insecure. Song Si was so anxious that he walked around the living room twice, but was afraid of waking up Tang Shisha, so he went back to his bedroom. If only he could be as pretty as Tang Shisha. The moment he closed the bedroom door, he glanced towards the door opposite. He wondered what the campus beauty was doing. Was she asleep? What you think about during the day you will dream about at night. This is really true. Song Si had dreams at night. In each dream, there was a first love girlfriend. Some had phone GIS face, some had bucktooth girls, some had round faces, and some had a cute little fat girl weighing 200 pounds. Song Si was awakened by a fright. He felt like he was about to collapse. After washing up, I put on my backpack and went to school. The school beauty's shoes were gone, so it seemed that she had left. As expected, girls who have boyfriends know how to avoid suspicion, just like last night when he was rejected when he tried to apply medicine on her kindly, and she felt a little upset. I didn't know that bastard could find such a good girlfriend, who is beautiful and considerate, who knows your needs, brings you water, washes grapes for you, and even gives you sunscreen spray for fear that you will get sunburned. Song Si felt a pity in his heart. It was a pity that it was not his. Song Si cursed Tang Shisha's boyfriend in his heart all the way, using all the swear words he had seen in novels over the years, but he still felt a lump in his heart. Oh, why do you look so bad? As soon as Chu Huixing entered the classroom, he saw Song Si walking in with two panda eyes. He was shocked. Were you hurt by the school beauty yesterday? These words resonated with the brothers. They just found out yesterday that the school beauty had a boyfriend, and today they became so miserable. There was no other reason except that they were abandoned by the school beauty and they were sad and upset. How unwilling I am to accept this. Jiang Haichao also felt that it was because of Tang Shisha. Although brother Si didn't say anything yesterday, it didn't mean he wasn't sad. After all, they lived under the same roof. Seeing Tang Shisha and her boyfriend being so affectionate, it would be strange if he didn't feel sad. He kindly touched his forehead and said, "Brother Si, are you suffering from lovesickness?" Wang Haoyang was also puzzled. You were full of energy yesterday, but you are listless today. Let me tell you, women are tigers. I have already said that the school beauty is not suitable for you. Gao Yingjun was confused and didn't understand why Song Si looked like he hadn't recovered from his serious illness. However, his brothers had already analyzed the reason, so he naturally didn't doubt it and thought that Song Si was sad because Tang Shisha had a boyfriend. Facing the concern of the brothers, Song Si was speechless. I'm fine, I had a little heat stroke yesterday and didn't sleep well at night. The four people started to talk sarcastically. Chu Huixing said disdainfully, not really, your physical fitness is that bad, you're not even as good as a girl. Wang Haoyang said, a lot of girls got heat stroke yesterday, half of them asked for leave today, but Xiao Tu Do didn't. Chu Huixing was speechless. You keep talking about little potatoes. If someone doesn't know, they would think you got it. Wang Haoyang was full of confidence and gave Song Si a sympathetic look. It will be soon. Song Si became more and more annoyed. He was about to orgasm, but he didn't know whether he was facing Wuyan girl or Zhuqian fairy. Jiang Haichao yelled at them, shut up right now. Brother Si is very upset about his breakup, don't provoke him. Song Si was once again left speechless by his brothers, so there is only one reason why I look so haggard, a broken heart. Are there any other reasons besides this? Chu Huixing spread his hands, we can't think of any. Wang Haoyang said, I just can't figure out what brother Si means. First love and school beauty, now only the first love is left as a choice. Are you unwilling to accept it? Song Si snorted coldly. What could he do if he was unwilling? They each have someone in their hearts, and no matter how unwilling they are, they can only keep it in their hearts. Tang Shisha came to the living area early in the morning to buy breakfast. After buying her favorite pie, she remembered that Song Si had not had breakfast yet. When she came out, she found that his shoes were still there, so she wanted to bring him some. Originally, she wanted to be reserved. After all, she was a girl, and it would not be good to be too proactive. But on second thought, Song Si is her boyfriend, so it's not too much to buy breakfast for her boyfriend. But she didn't know what Song Si liked to eat, so she took out her cell phone and sent him a message. Typing is too troublesome, just speak directly. Roommate, what would you like for breakfast? Song Si was listening to the brothers teasing him and was about to engage in a debate when he heard his cell phone ring with a message. When he opened the chat interface and saw their voice message sent by Tang Shisha, he felt a little confused. Why is the school beauty sending a voice message so early in the morning? I clicked it directly, and then the school beauty's voice came out in a cold but gentle voice. What do you want for breakfast? Oh. Song Si was so surprised that he almost lost control of his expression. Is the school beauty going to buy him breakfast? The scene went into an uproar. The brothers who had just teased him about his broken heart were all stunned. What is going on? The school beauty wants to buy breakfast for brother Si. Or make breakfast. In full view of everyone, Song Si opened the voice chat and said, I can do anything. You haven't come to school yet. Roommate, I'll buy breakfast in the living area and bring it back to you. Song Si, sorry, I'm already at school. Song Si was a little annoyed. If he had known earlier, he could have waited for the school beauty and had the breakfast she bought for him. The grapes she washed last night were exceptionally sweet. It felt like she had never eaten grapes so sweet in her life. Roommate, it's okay, I'll take it to school. Meat buns and 8 treasure porridge, okay? Song Si's heart was pounding with excitement, but his face remained calm. Sure, thank you. Turn off your phone. Song Si was surrounded by his brothers. Chu Huaishan, tell me the truth, what do you and the school beauty mean to each other? Jiang Haichao, brother Si, have you completely given up on your first love? Wang Haoyang, I thought you were heartbroken, but it turns out you are in love. Tell me the truth, were you exhausted last night? Chapter 13, Stunned by Happiness. Song Si thought of the terrible dreams he had last night and said, I'm really exhausted. I didn't sleep well. Chu Huaishan scolded him, beast. Wang Haoyang was also extremely jealous. He was still chasing girls, but brother Si had already hit base with a girl, and it was a home run. It seemed that he also had to speed up. Tang Shisha carried breakfast and walked towards Song Si's class. Many boys were gathered in the corridor chatting, but when they saw the school beauty, their eyes lit up and followed her figure, wishing their eyes could grow on her. What is the school beauty doing? Go ask. No, she's like a cloud in the sky, I can't reach her. TSK, I don't know who can get there. Song Si from class 6. I guess she went to bring breakfast to Song Si. How is that possible? My goddess is aloof and unattainable. Only boys can bring her breakfast. She will never condescend to bring it to boys. No one is worthy of her doing that. Why are you so angry? Are you jealous? The one with the red face and thick neck is Wang Jingsong from class 7, a typical second-generation rich man, arrogant and conceited. He asked about Song Si, and found that apart from being handsome, he was nothing special. He said, I'm jealous. I don't believe Song Si is so shameless. The good buddy knew that he was interested in Tang Shisha, and said with a smile, but she went to the direction of class 6. Apart from looking for Song Si, I can't think of why she went to class 6. Wang Jingsong said, maybe she's looking for her best friend. Let's make a bet. If the school beauty sends breakfast to Song Si, I'll buy you breakfast for a month. A triumphant smile flashed across Hanfei's eyes. Deal. Tang Shisha came to the door of class 6 and looked inside. She saw Song Si sitting in the back seat. Thinking of Song Si's irresistible enthusiasm and calling her sister-in-law, she didn't dare to go in to deliver breakfast. She stood at the door and shouted to Song Si, come and get breakfast. The noise stopped abruptly, and the whole class looked towards the door. When they saw Tang Shisha, their eyes widened in shock and their expression control was completely lost. The entire classroom was as silent as death. Everyone looked at the couple standing together with complicated expressions. Song Si's heart was also pounding at this moment. He knew Tang Shisha would come over, but when he heard her cold voice calling out his name, he felt a surge of blood rushing to his heart. Surprise, excitement, palpitations, and overflowing vanity. See. Your goddess brought me breakfast. I must be so jealous. Song Si walked to the door and stood in front of the beautiful woman who was perfect from head to toe. His palms were sweating with nervousness. Tang Shisha stared at him with her peach blossom eyes. Her originally clear and unparalleled almond-shaped eyes were suddenly filled with brilliant brilliance. She opened her cherry lips and said, "Here." Song Si was stunned, feeling dizzy from being hit by happiness. He took the breakfast from Tang Shisha's slender white hands and gave her a bright smile. "Thank you, have you eaten?" Tang Shisha raised the bag in her other hand. "I was just about to eat." "You eat, I'm leaving." Tang Shisha handed it to Song Si and turned to leave. "Tang Shisha." Song Si called her and said, "Are you free tonight?" He wanted to treat her to a meal and be friends, which required give and take. It was not appropriate for only one party to give. Tang Shisha turned around and looked at him with complicated eyes. He surrendered so quickly. "Do you want to date her?" Snort. Big pig's hoof. "If you can't stand the test, I will divorce you. Don't get me wrong, I want to treat you to a meal. If it's inconvenient, forget it." He could return the favor somewhere else. Tang Shisha blinked and said, "Eat, okay, send me a message and I'll see if I have time in the evening." Neither accepted nor rejected. Song Si nodded quickly, "Okay." Song Si stared at Tang Shisha's back, and a sweet feeling filled his heart. In the corridor, Wang Jingsong glared at the two of them, and he didn't come to his senses until Tang Shisha walked past him. "How is that possible? Isn't she very cold? Why would you go to deliver breakfast to Song Si? What's being said in school is true. Song Si is not her rumored boyfriend, but her boyfriend." Seeing his confused and jealous look, his good friend Han Fei smiled and said, "Don't forget breakfast for a month." Song Si was sitting at his seat eating a big meat bun filled with beef, which was delicious. The classmates in the class were talking about it. "Boys here. The rumors about Song Si and the school beauty are true. Song Si is really lucky to be favored by the school beauty. I think Song Si's family might be very rich, otherwise why would the school beauty want him? I feel the same way. Damn, love gained through family background is not true love." The brothers surrounded Song Si and watched him wolf down the big buns with a happy look on his face, and they immediately felt unbalanced. Wang Haiyang stretched out his fat hand and tried to grab one to eat, but Song Si slapped him away. "Get lost, I'm not full yet, and I won't give it to you even if I'm full. If you want to eat, ask Little Potato to buy it for you." Wang Haiyang was helpless. How can it be so fast? I just started pursuing her. I bought buns for her, but I don't know if she will accept it or not. Chu Huaixing felt sour in his heart. Eat slowly, don't choke to death. Jiang Haichao felt that he was Song Si's brother, and he couldn't let others be jealous of him. Don't be jealous, go find someone if you have the ability. Brother Si is so lucky in love. His first girlfriend never left him, and the school beauty fell in love with him at first sight. Isn't that infuriating? Chu Huaixing was not convinced. Didn't you hear them say that the school beauty was attracted by Brother Si's money? Jiang Haichao retorted, "If you can't eat the grapes, you will say that the grapes are sour. Why don't you say that you are attracted by Brother Si's looks?" Chu Huaixing and the others remained silent. It seems that what Jiang Haichao said was right. Song Si is really handsome. In the next few days, Song Si became a collection of contradictions. One moment I was thinking about my first love, and the next second Tang Shisha's bright little face would appear in my mind. He felt that he was being tortured crazy by the two women, and it was only a matter of time before he developed schizophrenia. After a few days of torment, on the last night of military training, he decided to send a message to his first love girlfriend. No matter whether the two of them could continue to be together in the future, he had to meet them in person. A relationship that has lasted for so many years cannot be given up just like that. "Little squirrel, Tang Tang, what time will you go to the freshman welcome party tomorrow night?" This freshman welcome party was a bit unique. All participating students had to wear masks to see if they could recognize their classmates after half a month of getting along with each other. Song Si didn't want to participate at first, thinking it was too childish. He could recognize these guys in the Brotherhood even if they were burned to ashes, let alone wearing masks. "Big Lion, I want to go early because the party will be held in the open-air square, and I think there will be a lot of mosquitoes." Song Si found it funny when he saw the message from his first love. They were going to meet tomorrow night, but she wasn't nervous. Instead, she was worried about mosquitoes. How calm could she be? Little squirrel, spray some floral water. Big lion, yeah. Song Si really wanted to ask, are you nervous when we meet tomorrow night? But he couldn't ask that question. It can be seen that his first love girlfriend was not nervous at all, but he was extremely nervous. Chapter 14. Song Si is playing two boats. However, although I was nervous, I was still a little scheming, which was due to the fact that I had read political novels for so many years. By looking at the chat records between the two, Song Si quickly discovered clues. On the night when the military training ended, his first love complained to him that her shoulders were red and both shoulders were covered with blood marks. He felt so distressed and asked her if there were no boys in the class to give her a backpack. She said there were many, but she refused. He is also a man and understands their thoughts too well. Men are creatures that will approach beautiful women when they see them and hide away when they see ugly ones. Just by the fact that so many boys are vying to carry backpacks for his first love, he guessed that she must be very good looking. After being troubled for a few days, I finally let it go. The truth will be revealed tomorrow night, so let's wait and see. I chatted with my first love for a while and then fell into a deep sleep. He has been suffering from insomnia for several days. Wang Jingsong has been asking about Song Si these days. He thought that Tang Shisha fell in love with Song Si because his family was rich. After asking around, he found out that Song Si's family was average. His father was a middle school teacher and his mother was a hospital nurse. In a third-tier city like Yicheng, they could only be considered middle-class and new generation people, and could not be compared with him, a rich second generation. So, what did Tang Shisha see in him? He really didn't want to lose to Song Si. And as he investigated further, he found out a shocking piece of news. Song Si actually has a girlfriend. And she is his first love. From what the boys in Class 6 say, Song Si is now two-timing. He doesn't express his opinion towards Tang Shisha, doesn't refuse, and doesn't take the initiative. He is a complete scumbag. Doesn't he that mean Tang Shisha becomes a mistress? Interfere in other people's feelings. What does she want? Wang Jingsong felt that Song Si must have deceived Tang Shisha, and Tang Shisha definitely didn't know that he had a girlfriend. That's why he wants to expose Song Si and let Tang Shisha see that Song Si is a scumbag. The next morning, Song Si bought several kinds of milk tea and came to find Tang Shisha. In order to better expose Song Si, he called his good friend Han Fei, and the two of them went straight into Class 8 classroom. He walked to Tang Shisha. In order to pursue Tang Shisha, he took the opportunity of going to the toilet to secretly glance at her in the class more than once, and he knew her seat very well. Shisha, the first cup of milk tea in autumn. Wang Jingsong took a cup out of the package and asked, what flavor do you like? Tang Shisha is watching the replay of last night's live broadcast. This is a habit she has developed since she started working in this industry. The 1-hour live broadcast ends at 11 o'clock in the evening, and she has no time to watch the replay. She will take time to watch it again in the morning, find out the shortcomings, and improve them immediately in the next live broadcast. Suddenly she heard an abrupt male voice calling her. She looked up from her phone and saw that it was a strange boy. She looked at the milk tea he bought and frowned. You asked me to help sell milk tea. Phut. Han Fei, who was following behind Wang Jingsong, couldn't help but laugh out loud. The originally quiet classroom became noisy at this moment. They looked at Wang Jingsong, then at Tang Shisha, and whispered about which one this was. Wang Jingsong suddenly felt embarrassed. He turned around and glared at Han Fei, then said to Tang Shisha, no, I bought it for you. I'm sorry, we don't know each other and I don't want other people's things. Tang Shisha refused coldly. It is very rude to give milk tea to a girl when you don't know her. Tang Shisha's deskmate Yu Wanwan curled her lips and said to Wang Jingsong, classmate, you'd better leave quickly. Our Shisha doesn't accept things from others. Shisha refuses gifts like yours at least a dozen times every day, so you should just give up. Tang Shisha, as usual, ignored the man and didn't even glance at him, continuing to look down at her phone. The male students in the classroom began to gloat over his misfortune. Look, another idiot comes to lick the school beauty, he deserves to be ignored. With so many previous examples, why don't he learn his lesson? The girls were watching the fun, sneering at Wang Jingsong and at the same time jealous of Tang Shisha for being favored by so many boys. Wang Jingsong saw that Tang Shisha was so cold and distant. He felt embarrassed in front of so many people and finally asked unwillingly, if Song Si gave you milk tea, would you accept it? Hearing Song Si's name, Tang Shisha finally looked up at him and said with resentment, he didn't send it off. Wang Jingsong immediately asked, what if he sends it? Tang Shisha answered simply, why not? A flash of anger flashed across Wang Jingsong's face. As expected, she was obsessed with Song Si. Shisha, actually Song Si has been deceiving you. Do you know why he didn't send you anything? Because he has a girlfriend. Wang Jingsong said indignantly, he is playing both sides. Don't be fooled by him. Tang Shisha was stunned, how do you know he has a girlfriend? Wang Jingsong said hurriedly, I heard from the boys in his class that he has a first love girlfriend, whom he met online. I heard that he likes his online girlfriend more. Let me tell you, Song Si is not the rich second generation you think he is. He comes from an ordinary family. His father is a middle school teacher and his mother is a nurse. Don't be fooled by his sweet words. Tang Shisha suddenly said, thank you for telling me this. Wang Jingsong thought Tang Shisha was angry when she heard that Song Si had a girlfriend, but he was just feeling excited when he heard Tang Shisha say, if you hadn't told me, I really wouldn't know his family situation, but I'd rather hear him tell me about his parents himself. What? Wang Jingsong was confused. He didn't understand what Tang Shisha meant. Tang Shisha didn't want to waste time talking to him, so she immediately ordered him to leave. Class is about to start, please go back. Wang Jingsong asked doubtfully, aren't you angry? You should be furious and cut off ties with him immediately, so why are you so calm? Does she want to be the third party? Tang Shisha glanced at him, started to take out her textbook, and ignored him again. Han Fei felt very ashamed. Being ignored in front of the whole class, he almost dug a bomb shelter out of his toes. He dragged Wang Jingsong out and said, let's go now, don't humiliate yourself. Wang Jingsong glared at Tang Shisha in frustration, thinking that you will regret it sooner or later. What happened in class 8 did not affect Song Si. He learned about it after the second class in the morning. Chu Huixing had a good friend in class 8. He found him and told him the whole story. He also asked him gossipy questions such as whether Song Si was two-timing. Maybe, what does this have to do with that bastard Wang Jingsong? Don't you understand? Wang Jingsong is pursuing Tang Shisha. TSK, he's trying to sow discord when he can't catch up. He's a mean guy. Although Chu Huixing also disliked Song Si because he was too popular with women, Song Si was his brother after all, and he would not take the side of an outsider. Chapter 15 Masquerade. He turned around and told Song Si about this. He kindly reminded her, if you continue to be so indecisive, the school beauty will be pursued by someone else. Song Si was very annoyed when he heard that Tang Shisha was being harassed. What the hell is Wang Jingsong? Is he shameless? From what my buddy said, he wanted to pursue the campus beauty, but the campus beauty ignored him, so he went to complain to you. Oh, you little bastard. If he comes to harass Tang Shisha again, let your good buddy pass the message. Chu Huixing asked, what do you want to do? Beat him up and stand up for Tang Shisha. Fuck, two dragons playing with a pearl. If you fight with Wang Jingsong, your first love will be gone. Song Si was stunned, feeling awkward being caught between two women, but he would explain everything to his first love. Just because Tang Shisha was his roommate, he had to mind his own business. At night, the boys in dormitory 606 dressed up and put on clothes they thought looked very handsome. Chu Huixing and Wang Haiyang actually wore suits. It was such a hot day that they really surprised everyone. Jiang Haichao looked at the two people who were like peacocks spreading their feathers, and asked in surprise, when did you buy the suits? Chu Huixing and Wang Haiyang looked at each other. In the afternoon, Wang Haiyang insisted on dragging him to the mall to buy clothes. He had clothes, but he couldn't resist Wang Haiyang's instigation. Finally, after Wang Haiyang praised him for being a handsome guy for the nth time, he still bought a suit. You know what, he looks really handsome in a suit. I just feel that Wang Haiyang looks fatter in a suit, and this kind of outfit is not suitable for him at all. I feel that you look like a big bear in this outfit, which is not good looking at all. If your little potato sees it, he will be scared and may even have a nightmare at night. Gao Yingjun nodded in agreement. I think you are not as good looking as brother Ci. A white shirt with black pants, fresh and clean, looks elegant and handsome. Chu Huixing looked at Song Ci. This boy really knew how to dress up. With a pair of glasses on, he looked like a complete scoundrel. Feeling a little jealous, he said, "What kind of mask do you want to wear? Your first love girlfriend won't recognize you, and it will be awkward when we meet in person." Song Si touched the squirrel mask hidden in his backpack and replied, "Don't bother. She will be able to recognize me even if I turn into ash." TSK, you two haven't even met each other, how can she know you so well? Of course. She has come to see me privately countless times. TSK, show off now. Their masquerade was held in an open-air square, which covered an area of 30 acres and could accommodate thousands of people for the party. The square was carefully decorated with bright lights, forming a brilliant light. The central pool was spraying fountains, and people were playing in the open-air swimming pool not far away. The square was already full of people, dressed in all kinds of clothes, standing or sitting, making it very lively. Song Si and his brothers came to the square. There were girls greeting them all around. There were all kinds of foxes, rabbits, and cats, which dazzled the eyes. The weather was still a little hot, and the girls were dressed quite sexy. Song Si thought their clothes were very eye-catching. "Har har, here I come." With a loud shout, a man in a black suit rushed out from the side. The girls at the scene screamed in fright. Song Si and the brothers looked at Wang Haiyang wearing the bargy mask, feeling a little disappointed with him. They shook their heads in disgust and quickly stayed away from him. There was constant laughter at the scene, with many people at the fountain. In the leisure area in the distance, groups of people were sitting and chatting. Some of these people not only wore masks, but also put on various kinds of makeup, so if you really met someone you knew, you might not be able to recognize them. Song Si soon separated from his brothers. He was anxious to find the big lion and decided to act alone. It is a miracle to find the girl you like in such a vast crowd of people. This tacit understanding is beyond doubt. It's a pity that he has never seen a big lion, so he doesn't know if this luck will come to him. In fact, the school organizes such a party for a special purpose. With this tacit understanding as a prelude, confessing to a girl will be twice as effective with half the effort. It is easy to impress a girl and thus succeed in the confession. A corner of the square. A girl was sitting there alone. If you looked closely, you could tell that she had dressed up specially. She was wearing a blue evening gown, dark red lips, her hair was tied up, and she had a small round hat on her head, with a veil half covering her face. She held a lion mask in her slender hands, looking mysterious and noble. As soon as Song Si entered the room, her eyes were on him. At this moment, her gaze followed him with a teasing look at the corners of her lips. He really was wearing a little squirrel mask. The two of them were surprisingly in sync with each other on this point. "I just don't know if that stupid goose can find her as soon as possible. I'm really looking forward to it." Song Si, you would never have dreamed that your first love and your roommate are the same person. I wonder how you would react if you knew the truth. Har har. Looking forward to it even more. Song Si was searching in the square, his eyes sweeping over the masks of each girl. Apart from the cute little kittens and the little rabbits with 2 ears, he hadn't found a girl wearing a lion mask. "Won't my first love wear a lion mask tonight?" Yes, that mask is a bit scary, and girls basically won't wear it, but boys will choose this kind of mask. After looking around, he didn't see anyone, and he was not sure how his first love would appear at the party. He wondered in his heart, was she hiding from him and deliberately not coming to meet him? But after thinking about it, he shook his head. After 3 years of online dating, he always knew that his first love was a lively and lovely girl, and would not break a date without a reason. Speaking of which, the first love girlfriend and Tang Shisha give people exactly opposite feelings. One is enthusiastic and cheerful, and the other is cold and aloof, just like the South Pole and the North Pole, with completely different personalities. Here, Song Si was looking forward to finding his first love, but he didn't know that he had already been targeted by someone who noticed him earlier than Tang Shisha. After Song Si and his group came out of dormitory 606, Wang Jingsong's younger brother Han Fei followed them all the way to the square. After confirming Song Si's location, he called Wang Jingsong and said, "Brother Song, Song Si is in the grove opposite the fountain. I'm nearby, I'll be there soon." 2 minutes later, the two men met. Han Fei felt very excited. "It feels like we two are spies." Wang Jingsong glared at him and said, "What did you find out? Tell me now." "I followed them and heard them say that Song Si was going to meet his first love tonight. The last step of an online romance is to get a hotel room. Do you think Song Si will take her directly to their hotel? Wang Jingsong's lips curled up into a triumphant smile. That would be the best. I'll just catch them in bed and take a photo and send it to Tang Shisha. I wonder how Song Si can argue. Han Fei couldn't help but give a thumbs up. Brother Song, this is a brilliant move of yours. If we catch him red-handed, Tang Shisha will have to break up with Song Si even if she likes him so much. Chapter 16. The sweet feeling of lifting the bride's red veil. Song Si couldn't find his first love and became anxious. Looking at the hustle and bustle in the square, I couldn't help feeling nervous. Where was my first love? He felt that this test was of hellish level and too difficult. This was also what he had proposed in the beginning, that as long as he found his first love tonight, they would meet in person. He sighed. If he had known it would be so difficult to find, he should have asked for some hints. Suddenly I thought of something and took out my phone to send a message. Little squirrel, Tang Tang, are you here? Tang Shisha was staring at Song Si. When she heard her phone ring, she quickly took it out of her bag and read it. After reading it, her lips curled slightly. Are you anxious now? I didn't ask you to climb mountains and cross rivers, go through mountains of swords and seas of fire. You really can't keep your cool. Big Lion, come on, I didn't see you. I don't see you either. Can you send me your location? This square is too big. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack among a vast crowd of people. It's a very difficult task. But how could he say such a thing? He has always been scheming and even his tricks cannot be detected by others. Little squirrel, I came early too. I just got rid of a few friends. Otherwise, I would be wearing a little squirrel mask and they would make fun of me. Tang Shisha smiled. I looked at the man wearing the squirrel mask. It was indeed quite incongruous for a grown boy to wear a small squirrel mask. Not only his good friends would tease him, she also found it funny. Tang Shisha understood the main point of this sentence to be that Song Si was afraid of being laughed at by his good friend, but in fact, what Song Si really conveyed to her was that he was wearing a little squirrel mask. However, Tang poetry was not appreciated carefully and Song poetry was encouraged. Big Lion, don't be afraid. There are so many people here tonight. They won't be able to recognize you. Be brave. Song Si thought that those guys in the Brotherhood all had sharp eyes, and they would be able to recognize me even if I turned into ashes. Little squirrel, I'm not afraid. I'm willing to go through fire and water to find you. When Tang Shisha heard this, she felt as if she had eaten honey and the air seemed sweet. Big Lion, so don't be discouraged, I might be not far away from you. Song Si. Having finally gotten reliable information, he was so excited that he wanted to jump up on the spot. It's just that with so many people around, it's not appropriate to do this. I should just digest it quietly, suppress my excitement, and reply to my first love, well, stay where you are, wait for me to find you. Putting away his phone, he looked around. Based on the information he had just obtained, she said that she was not far from him, so she must be nearby. He seriously suspected that his first love was staring at him. Searching around the crowd, I suddenly found a girl in an evening dress sitting on a lounge chair, and she was wearing a lion mask. It's her. Song Si couldn't contain his excitement and walked over there. Not far from him, Wang Jingsong and Han Fei followed immediately. Han Fei said, "Are you going to meet your girlfriend?" Wang Jingsong affirmed, "That's for sure. We'll catch them red-handed in a bit. Hurry up and send a message to Tang Shisha." Han Fei tagged Tang Shisha in the class group, but no one paid attention to him even after he tagged her several times. He had no choice but to send a message to Tang Shisha's best friend Yu Wanwan, asking her to come to the other side of the fountain as there was a good show to watch. Yu Wanwan was nearby. She was looking for her best friend, but she couldn't find her after searching around. Seeing Han Fei tagging her, she replied unhappily, "Why are you in our class group?" Han Fei thought that not only he was there, but Brother Song was also there. It was Brother Song who bribed the monitor of Class 6 and was able to get into the class group. Han Fei, this is not important. I'm telling you, Song Si is going to get a room with his girlfriend tonight. If you don't want your best friend to be cheated on, come here quickly. Yu Wanwan was stunned. So she was asked to catch an adulterer. If it were someone else, she would definitely not go. But this is Song Si, Shisha's boyfriend. If he really was involved with another woman and Shisha was kept in the dark, how infuriating that would be. No, she wanted to see if Song Si was too timing. She lifted her skirt and trotted towards the fountain. Song Si had already walked to Tang Shisher's side. Looking at the girl wearing the lion mask, he suddenly felt that she looked familiar. Her figure and height were the same as someone else's. Could it be such a coincidence? He shook his head, feeling that this was impossible. Perhaps his first girlfriend also had a tall figure like this and he was just overthinking it. He slowly walked towards the girl. At this time, Tang Shisher was also standing there, looking at the boy walking towards her step by step, her heart surging. The answer will be revealed later. What will be your expression? So looking forward to it. The closer Song Si got to her, the harder her heart beat, thump, 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 as if a deer was beating against it. The closer Song Si got to his first love, the stronger the sense of familiarity became. Now, even at such a close distance, he could still smell that familiar fragrance. He remembered that Tang Shisher had this scent on her. Could it be that both his first love and the school beauty liked this kind of perfume? Meeting that pair of familiar eyes, he couldn't help but ask, "Are you Tang Tang?" Tang Shisher was about to nod, but suddenly said mischievously, "Guess." Tang Shisher. Their voices are so similar, what's going on? Isn't it such a coincidence? Song Si now couldn't believe that the person under the mask had the same face as the school beauty. This was not a dream. What did you call me? Nothing, I just think you sound like a friend of mine. Really? I think you're like a friend of mine, too. What a coincidence. Tang Tang, can we take off our masks and talk? It's a bit hot like this. In fact, Song Si was extremely excited. Looking at his first love's figure, voice, and the pair of eyes that can look him in the eye, he can get a glimpse that she is a little beauty. Finally he was able to see the true face of Mount Lu, and his heart was beating fast. That's fine, but if you take off the mask, you'll be scared. Song Si thought to himself, I have been preparing for so many years and looking forward to it for so many years, but I would still be scared by a little girl like you. Who am I looking down on? I'll take it off first. Song Si took off the mask and looked up at his first love. He was surprised that she had no reaction at all after seeing his true face. So calm? Could it be that she had been observing him privately for a long time? What a scheming little fox. Tang Shisher looked at Song Si's face, her boyfriend, and pointed at her mask. I'd better trouble my boyfriend to reveal the answer himself. Song Si's heart beat even more violently, like the beating of a drum, deafening. He was so excited. It feels like the sweet feeling of lifting the bride's red veil. He knew that once the mask was taken off, they would start a passionate love affair here, and he shouted in his heart, Song Si, are you ready? Hurry up. The big hand trembled as it reached out to the lion mask. A few steps away, Wang Jingsong and his men came over to kill them. You Wanwan, did you see that? Your best friend's boyfriend is being affectionate with that girl. Damn it, I can tolerate it, but I can't, Song Si, you bastard. How dare you cheat on my best friend? Chapter 17. That person is at the end of the street. Yu Wanwan screamed, scaring Song Si so much that his hands trembled, and the mask was torn off. A beautiful, incomparably beautiful and familiar face came into his sight. His pupils constricted and his brain buzzed. His thoughts completely stopped at this moment. He had no consciousness and no movement. He was stunned for half a minute before he squeezed out a sound from his throat, Tang Tang, you. It's Tang Shisha. It was like a nuclear bomb dropped into his heart, blowing him to pieces. Surprise, disbelief, excitement, and a hint of surprise. In an instant, several expressions switched across Song Si's face, and he was so excited that he was at a loss. Tang Tang. He confirmed again, are you Tang Tang? I was in a trance for a moment, not knowing whether it was a dream or reality, until our eyes met, then I realized that this was not a dream, but my first love and roommate. Tang Shisher winked at him playfully, it's absolutely genuine. Song Si was still very excited at this moment. It turned out that his girlfriend who he had been in love with for 3 years and his roommate were really the same person. There really are such coincidences in the world. It really is fate. At this moment, he looked at the girl in front of him, wearing a blue dress, with long hair casually draped over her shoulders. Her skin was as white and delicate as porcelain with a natural luster, just like a shining pearl or a beautiful jade. Her face was so small that it could be covered by one palm. She had jade cheeks and cherry lips, and a pair of bright eyes, just looking at him so prettily. Song Si suddenly thought of the line, I searched for her among the crowd for hundreds of times, and when I turned around, she was standing in the dim light. At this moment, Song Si felt that the whole world was quiet. Suddenly, a discordant roar was heard. Song Si, what else do you have to say? Wang Jingsong and the other two had their backs to Tang Shisha. From their perspective, Song Si was having a great conversation with a pretty girl. He even took off the girl's mask himself. Well, they caught the culprit red-handed. Run! Song Si grabbed Tang Shisha's hand and was about to run, but Tang Shisha pulled him back and said, "What are you afraid of? Song Si, you betrayed my best friend. Song Si, you're playing both sides. I wonder if you have anything else to say." The three men ran to Song Si and were about to catch the adulterer when Tang Shisha suddenly looked towards them, and the three men were stunned where they were. "Shisha, why is it you?" Yu Wanwan was surprised. "Shisha, why are you with Song Si?" Wang Jingsong was also confused. According to reliable information, wasn't he meeting his first love? "Why can't I be here? My boyfriend and I have an appointment to meet tonight." Tang Shisha glanced at Wang Jingsong coldly, her eyes full of disgust. Song Si also got angry, especially when he saw Wang Jingsong and knew that he had always coveted his girlfriend, so he said, "You guys are so tactless and ruined my date with my girlfriend. So embarrassing." Wang Jingsong felt like he had swallowed a fly, but he still didn't give up. "Aren't you dating your girlfriend?" "She is my girlfriend." Song Si was speechless. "What are you doing? Are you staring at us like a spy?" Han Fei quickly stepped forward to explain, "Misunderstood, we just came here with Yu Wanwan to help our best friend." Before he could finish, Yu Wanwan slapped him on the shoulder. "You tagged me and said that Song Si was dating his girlfriend and cheated on my best friend, so I came here. I was also doing this for your best friend's sake. Who knew I saw the wrong person? I'm sorry, brother Song, let's go." He failed to steal the chicken but ended up losing the rice. How unlucky. Song Si's girlfriend is actually Tang Shisha. This world is so fucking magical. Wang Jingsong was dragged away by Han Fei. Before leaving, Song Si warned them, "Don't try to hit on my girlfriend in the future." Wang Jingsong looks dejected and still refuses to accept this reality. Yu Wanwan was also a little embarrassed. "Well, you guys chat, I won't be a light bulb." Tang Shisha glared at her and said, "You've been used as a gun. You should use your brain more in the future." Yu Wanwan said, "I heard that Song Si cheated on you, and I was furious. How could such a beautiful woman like my best friend be cheated on by others? She is the only one who cheats on others." Song Si coughed and warned, "Do you think I'm dead? Hey, you guys chat, I won't disturb you." Yu Wanwan looked at the two people holding hands and quickly ran away. Now that her best friend is finally living together with her boyfriend, she has to show off in the group and warn those boys that she is already taken and they should not bother about her. When they walked not far away, she took out her mobile phone, took a few photos of the young couple, and then sent them to a group. Song Si held Tang Shisha's hand and walked along the path beside the woods. He still couldn't contain his excitement. How are the two personalities cleverly integrated into Tang Shisha's body? He is cold on the outside but warm on the inside, which makes him feel like he is in love with two girls. But Tang Shisha obviously knew about him a long time ago and deliberately concealed it. She had kept him in suspense for so long, and he didn't want to let it go. He said, "Seeing me being played around by you like a fool, you feel very proud, don't you?" At this moment, he had already let go of Tang Shisha's hand because he was too excited and his palms were sweating. He was afraid that she would find out something. "My girlfriend has long hair draped over her shoulders, her waist swaying, and even her silhouette is incredibly beautiful. Are you angry?" Tang Shisha noticed the burning gaze of someone beside her, and she frowned and glanced at him with the corner of her eye. "Who asked you to bully me? This is your punishment." Song Si was confused. "When did I bully you?" "On the night of the report, I woke up and found you hugging me tightly with your thighs pressing on me. I was terrified at the time." Song Si. "So you called the police on me?" "I didn't know it was you at the time, I thought there was a bad guy in the house." Song Si reluctantly admitted his mistake. "Okay, blame me." His girlfriend looked at him tenderly with starry eyes, which made Song Si's cheeks flushed and his chest heaving, as if a deer was running rampant in his chest. His body seemed to be hit by a strong electric current, and every nerve ending was trembling. He felt happier than ever before. Tang Shisha was very satisfied with Song Si's attitude. In fact, she walked into the wrong room that night. Don't blame him. But he took advantage of it. Song Si and Tang Shisha walked aimlessly, their elongated shadows overlapping each other, looking so harmonious. At this time, the brothers were walking towards this side. The four boys walked forward, chatting and laughing. Their eyes were never idle, looking at the masked beauties with envy. Chu Huaixing said, "Fatty Wang, where are your little potatoes? Didn't you find them?" Wang Haoyan was a little frustrated. She was with her best friend and ignored me. Chu Huaixing said, TSK, you are not good enough. You can't even make an appointment. This is not called dating. It's more like unrequited love." Wang Haoyan hit back, "You didn't get a date with a girl either, and you said you were meeting your girlfriend of 3 years. She took the initiative to ask you out, where is she?" Chapter 18, Husband and Wife Return Home. Chu Huaixing explained himself and stepped on Song Si. "Of course there is someone like that. I gave up my date with her just to accompany you guys. I'm not Brother Si who values women over friends." Jiang Haichao said, "Come on, if you had a school beauty girlfriend, you would have gone to spend time with her under the moonlight. Why would you think of your good buddy? I'm accompanying you just because I feel sorry for you single guys. Let me tell you, maybe Brother Si left us tonight because he was afraid of being embarrassed." "What do you mean?" Not only Jiang Haichao was confused, but even Wang Haoyang and Gao Yingjun didn't understand what he meant. The three of them were waiting for him to answer their questions and were looking forward to it. Brother Si said he was going to meet his first love, but it's been so long, who has seen his first love? I feel like he's lying to us. There's no such thing as a first love. Wang Haoyan was stunned. "Are you saying he made it up?" "That's about right." Jiang Haichao knew the truth of this matter best. Just as he was about to defend Song Si, he saw Gao Yingjun pointing at the path in the woods and exclaiming, "Brother Si, there are also beauties." The three of them hurriedly crowded together at the intersection of the woods to look, and sure enough, they saw Song Si and a girl walking deeper into the woods with their backs to them. The two were very close to each other, almost hugging each other. The slap in the face came too quickly. Chu Huaixing withdrew his head in embarrassment. He felt a little scared as three people stared at him hungrily. "What are you doing? Didn't you say that Brother Si didn't have a girlfriend and deliberately made one up to deceive us? He can't eat the grapes, so he says they are sour. I know this best. Brother Si did have a first girlfriend. They dated for 3 years in high school, but they never met. I think this person is definitely a great beauty, judging by her figure." Chu Huaixing was jealous again. They showed up in person so quickly and even went into the woods. Song Si fell in love at rocket speed. This was too infuriating. He suddenly thought, Song Si was dating his first love, what should he do about Tang Shisha? Will someone take advantage of the loophole? He said regretfully, TSK, school beauty, what a pity. Jiang Haichao asked, "What's wrong with you?" "I think it's a pity that Brother Si gave up the school beauty." Wang Haoyan was also envious and jealous. "If it's dry, it will die of drought. If it's wet, it will die of flood. I'll take some time to learn some skills of picking up girls from Brother Si so that I can win over Little Potato as soon as possible." Gao Yingjun said, "I want to learn too." The brothers did not disturb Song Si. After returning to the dormitory, they frantically sent him messages, asking him how the progress was. Song Si and Tang Shisha walked around the campus and returned home around 10 o'clock. Taking off his shoes and changing into slippers, Song Si said, "Both husband and wife will return home." Tang Shisha glared at him, kicked off her high heels, put on slippers and walked to the bedroom. A few seconds later, she went into the bathroom with some clean clothes. Song Si's eyes were fixed on her, with a slight smile on his lips, until he saw her back disappear at the door, then he slowly withdrew his gaze. The look his girlfriend gave him just now made him feel like he was eating honey, and the sweetness spread to every part of his body. Listening to the sound of running water coming from the bathroom, Song Si felt unwell. In the past, Tang Shisha was just his roommate, so he naturally didn't dare to think too much about it. But now that he knows she is his girlfriend, he can't help but let his imagination run wild. After deceiving him for so long, you should at least give him some benefits. Making up my mind, I headed towards the bathroom. Tang, do you want a bath towel? I'll get it for you. Need not. Tang, have you got all your clothes? I'll get them for you. I got them all, thank you. Tang Tang, I can't hold my pee anymore, can you let me in? Get lost. A few minutes later, Song Si returned to the sofa in a lack of interest. His girlfriend was too stingy and too cunning, and it was not easy to fool her at all. Half an hour later, Tang Shisher walked out of the bathroom in her pajamas, raised her chin towards Song Si, and said in a very cold tone, "It's your turn to take a shower. Don't disturb me when I'm taking a shower in the future. I want to make 3 rules with you. I'll send the rules to your phone." 3 rules. Song Si stared at her without blinking. He was completely mesmerized by the picture of a beautiful woman emerging from the bath. He lost his ability to think and nodded subconsciously, "Okay, 3 rules, then 3 rules. I'll do as you say." His gaze was fixed on their beauty emerging from the bath. His eyes seemed to contain a deep ocean, or to be burning with 2 flames, hot and obsessed. Tang Shisher's cheeks felt hot when she saw him like that. She raised her hands to cover his eyes. Song Si leaned his head back, stepped away, and kissed her fingers lightly with his lips. Tang Shisher instantly felt the heat on her cheeks transfer to her hands. She glared at him angrily, "You stinky man." He was too impatient to flirt with her like this when they first met. He, collect some benefits. Who told you to lie to me? Song Si quickly ran into the bathroom to avoid Tang Shisher's deathly gaze. They had just met, so he didn't dare to do anything too excessive because she was a taekwondo master. Smelling the sweet fragrance of the bathroom, I feel that the place where the goddess has taken a bath is so intoxicating. With the hot water poured over his body, Song Si felt relaxed both physically and mentally. Of course, this was due to his good mood. In just one night, his relationship with Tang Shisher made rapid progress. The two of them seemed like a couple who had been together for many years and had a perfect understanding of each other. Regarding this phenomenon, Song Si felt that it was due to the 3 years of chatting online. With those 3 years of preparation, the real situation progressed so quickly. This was the power of accumulation. Early the next morning, Song Si and Tang Shisher appeared in the cafeteria together, causing quite a stir. "Oh, so fast, Song Si has already got the beauty. I heard that they went on a date last night, and he even posted photos in the class group. Is this true? Is Song Si really a rich second generation?" "I think so. If he wasn't a rich second generation, why would Tang Shisher want him? I feel the same way. Tang Shisher is so cold to the boys who pursue her, but she is very nice to Song Si. I heard that she even offered to send him breakfast. I think Song Si's identity as a rich second generation is confirmed. Tang Shisher was live streaming until midnight last night, and now she is covering her mouth with her hand to yawn. Song Si was also writing very late last night, and seeing his girlfriend's cute appearance, he couldn't help but tease, "You missed me so much last night that you couldn't sleep." After that, he continued, "I'm next door, you can call me, I'll be there whenever you call." Tang Shisher rolled her eyes, "You haven't woken up yet?" Song Si smiled awkwardly, "Of course I'm awake." Tang Shisher didn't want to be with him so early in the morning, so she stood up and said, "I'm going to get some food." "What do you want to eat?" 5 steamed beef buns and 1 rice porridge. "Want some eggs?" "Yes, 2. The students from Class 8 and Class 6 at the next table were shocked to see Tang Shisher personally go to get food for Song Si. Isn't Song Si a rich second generation? Why is he eating school beauties? What do you know? It's because he's a rich second generation that he can boss Tang Shisher around. Oh, that's how good it is to be rich. Even when you have breakfast, your girlfriend has to serve you. Chapter 19, Embracing. What kind of background does Song Si have? He actually asked the school beauty to make breakfast for him. Also, the girls in our class are all attracted by his looks. They say he is sunny, handsome, and talented. I really don't understand. I don't understand it either. He just sang a song that went viral online. What talent is that? It's all a lie. If the girls in our class heard you say this, they would definitely get mad at you. You can be angry if you want. I'm telling the truth. What else does he have besides grandstanding? How can he compare with good boys like us? The table next to Song Si is filled with boys from Class 7. Wang Jingsong and Han Fei were also there. Listening to their classmates' comments on Song Si, they felt even more upset. Wang Jingsong and Han Fei failed to catch the adulterer last night, and after returning they have been studying the matter, just like they were studying the 18 dragon subduing palms, not missing a single move. Wang Jingsong still doesn't want to believe that Tang Shisha is Song Ci's girlfriend. They had just met and were both freshmen, so how did Yu Lao tie them together? They couldn't imagine how a school belle like Tang Shisha, who should be as cool and pure as moonlight, could be so humble in front of Song Ci. And Song Ci didn't know how to cherish her, and enjoyed the school belle's efforts time and time again, which made them feel so bitter that it felt like they had eaten mustard and their tongues were numb. Shouldn't a girl like this be held in your hands for fear of her falling, or held in your mouth for fear of her melting? But this guy has this ability. He keeps his hands off and the school belle comes rushing up to him. If he learns this trick, he will be surrounded by girls left and right. Han Fei felt that if Wang Jingsong and Song Ci were to confront each other, it would be just bad luck opening the door to bad luck, and it would be extremely bad luck. He is obviously not skilled enough to compete with Song Ci for women. He can't even pick up what Song Ci threw. Just by seeing him use those few moves, beauties are bewitched and entranced. You may not be his opponent even if you practice for 8 lifetimes. I have never heard of anyone becoming a martial arts master by being beaten many times. Brother Song, what's wrong? Although he complained, Han Fei couldn't bear to see his buddy suffer a setback, so at the critical moment, he had to cheer him up. Wang Jingsong was heartbroken and had not yet gotten over the breakup, or to be more precise, his secret love was shattered. You just heard what the girls said. Isn't it that Song Ci became famous just because he sang a song? How come he is so popular with the girls? How can he compare to me? Don't be discouraged. In my opinion, his family background and character are not as good as yours, but he is shameless. He just likes to take up social resources and show off his charm on the internet. Now the school website is full of gossip about Song Ci, and almost all the school resources are occupied by him alone. Han Fei naturally can't stand it. The key point is that the girls love to take pictures of Song Ci and post them on the school website. Take what happened last night for example. The video of Song Ci and Tang Shisha's meeting was posted online again. They were a handsome man and a beautiful woman, making everyone envious. Many people became their CP fans. Isn't he that infuriating? Han Fei said, don't be discouraged. The beautiful Chen Yuan and Wu Sangui had such a deep relationship, but she was still snatched away by Li Zicheng. There was also the Republic of China beauty Lu Xiaoman. So what if she married Wang Geng? She was still snatched away by Xu Jimor. Wang Jingsong instantly perked up. You said I still have hope. Of course, it's still uncertain who will win. From today on, you not only have to start your college life, but you also have to get the beauty. As long as you are good enough, defeating Song Ci is only a matter of time. Wang Jingsong's confidence suddenly increased. Yes, even though Song Ci has the upper hand now, the real contest has not yet begun. In fact, what happened last night did not cause much harm to Wang Jingsong. At most, it made him feel the pain of a broken heart in advance. He would experience this heartbroken feeling sooner or later. It would not kill him, so it did not matter. But what he couldn't understand was why Tang Shisha chose Song Ci as her boyfriend. There are so many people pursuing her, and many of them are better than Song Ci, such as him, but Tang Shisha is obsessed with her, which is an insult to him. Class 6, Class 7, and Class 8 are full of girls with good looks and good figures. He is indifferent to anyone Song Ci pursues, but not Tang Shisha. She is his first love at first sight. He is a rich second generation, no matter how good he is than Song Ci, so why should he choose him? Tang Shisha was his beautiful secret crush, his white moonlight, and the beautiful vision he had in his college days when he was still mentally immature but already in love. During his 3 years of high school, Wang Jingsong never had a girlfriend. However, on his first day of reporting to university, he was captivated by Tang Shisha at first sight and fell in love with her at first sight. He sneaked into the Class 8 group and added Tang Shisha on WeChat under the name of her classmate. However, he mustered up the courage and only dared to say hello to Tang Shisha on WeChat, but got no response. So when he learned that Tang Shisha liked Song Ci, he felt as heartbroken as a pure love warrior falling to the ground. That day, he mustered up the courage to send her milk tea, but was ruthlessly rejected, which made his passionate heart cool. Since the beginning of the school year, Song Ci has always been better than him in everything, but he is unwilling to accept it. However, after what happened last night, he was really stunned. But he did not lose heart. He waited and saw who would win. When the brothers came in, they saw Song Si sitting there alone. People around him were talking about him, but he ignored them. Brother Si, how was last night? Brother Si, I tagged you, why didn't you reply? Brother Si, how far have we come? The brothers, except Gao Yingjun, all have their own questions. Song Si glanced at them and said disdainfully, don't be a light bulb, go sit somewhere else. You value women over friends, and no one is with you. That is, what did you do with your first love last night? Did you hold hands? Wang Datu was particularly persistent about this question. Holding hands is no small matter. Song Si said proudly, you for single dogs don't deserve to know too much. Wang Datu was so shocked that he almost jumped up. Fuck, you played poker with the school beauty just the day before yesterday, and you went on a date with your first love last night, aren't you afraid that she will be jealous? Chu Huaixin was also extremely impressed. That's right, Brother Si, please share some of your experience. How do you manage to have so many beauties on both sides and enjoy the happiness of having so many women? Song Si looked at his girlfriend who was queuing for food. It was not an exaggeration to say that he was enjoying the blessing of having two wives during this period, because he felt like he was in a relationship with two people from the beginning to the end. A first love girlfriend who is enthusiastic and lively, calls him little darling when chatting, and says good night to him every night. A cold flower that gives people a sense of distance and can only be admired from afar and not touched. These two people are actually the same person. Come to think of it, it's quite mysterious. Song Si summed it up in 4 words, surging passion. What does that mean? Can you be so passionate about a relationship? Wang Datu asked in confusion. Chu Huaixing answered, how can it not be exciting to be in love with two people? It's super exciting. Chapter 20, Recruitment of New Members to the Literary Club. This was the scene Tang Shisha saw when she came back from lunch. 4 boys surrounded Song Si, begging him to share their love experience, while Song Si was beaming with joy, his tail was raised in pride. Your sister-in-law has gone to get food. I will be with her in a while. Please stay away from me. Does your sister-in-law make you food? That's right, how did you do that? Needless to say, shameless. You take it for granted that you can eat free food. I have to admit defeat. The brothers felt thoroughly what disparity meant. Tang Shisha was speechless. What was the stinky man showing off for? She was willing to take the initiative to get food. It was early in the morning and he was talking sweet words to her. She didn't want to be made blushing by his sweet words. From now on, he will have to go and get the meal, otherwise his brothers will misunderstand that he is a gigolo. Sister-in-law is here. Wang Haoyang was sharp-eyed. When he saw Tang Shisha coming, he consciously pulled his brothers to get food. Chu Huaixing flattered, sister-in-law, you and brother Si can eat together, and we won't be the light bulbs. Tang Shisha smiled at them, put the tray on the table, and said to Song Si, eat quickly. Song Si said sweetly, thank you. After saying that, he quickly peeled the eggs for Tang Shisha and put them on her plate. Only then did he realize that she had only eaten 2 eggs and a bowl of 8 treasure porridge for breakfast. Tang, you eat too little. Here are some buns for you. A big meat bun was placed in Tang Shisha's bowl. Tang Shisha frowned and said, I can't eat it. It's too greasy. Then what do you like to eat? I'll make it for you. No, these are enough. Song Si picked up the meat bun and ate 1 in 2 bites, then said vaguely, I'll treat you to a good meal at noon to replenish your body. Looking at my girlfriend, although the outlines of the fat parts are quite large, she still needs to be nourished so that she will be comfortable to hug in the future. Before class, Chu Huaixing went to the counselor's office and brought back a stack of documents regarding the recruitment of new members for the club. All major societies have been promoting themselves vigorously, with slogans that are unparalleled, and they strongly advocate the advantages of their own societies. Students, take a look. If you are interested, you can go to the club and take a look. You are free to choose. Chu Huaixing distributed the list and spoke to their whole class. He, the acting squad leader, was directly promoted to official squad leader under Song Si's manipulation. The brothers canvassed for votes and praised Chu Huaixing's outstanding leadership abilities to the skies. As expected, he was passed unanimously in the first class election. Brother Si, you said there are several positions in the student union, should we compete for them? After Chu Huaixing finished his class affairs, the first thing he did was to discuss with Song Si. Everyone in the Brotherhood understood that Chu Huaixing was the squad leader in name, but in reality it was Song Si who made the decisions. Go, why not go? Encourage more classmates to participate, and encourage more clubs to sign up. Song Si pointed to the sky. This means that it is easier to get things done with someone up there. Just think about it, if all the positions are occupied by people from other classes, then no good things will fall on us. Chu Huaixing agreed. I understand, encourage them to serve in the student union. Wang Haiyang turned around and asked Song Si, which club do you want to join, brother Si? Song Si said, let's join the literature club. If you guys have any hobbies, join them. We have 4 years in college, so we need to unlock some other skills. Through getting to know him, he found out that his girlfriend's earning ability was better than his. She could earn hundreds of yuan from live streaming in one night. At the end of a month, she could easily make tens of thousands of yuan, which was much better than him, a half-living author. This also strengthened his determination to make money. You can't just lie down and live off others for the rest of your life, as they say. Monday's class schedule was full. The first class was the class taught by their homeroom teacher. The 4 classes in the morning ended at 12 o'clock. Song Si originally wanted to invite Tang Shisher to have lunch at noon, but that was delayed. Their whole day is filled with classes and no time to rest. Death Monday is really scary. After school in the afternoon, the brothers went to sign up for clubs. After Song Si separated from them, he came to the recruitment office of the literature club alone. Registration office. Luo Wanqing looked at the registration form with only a few names on it and sighed. She originally thought it was easy to gather a group of people with similar interests, but only now did she realize it was not an easy task. No wonder all the major clubs use so many different methods when recruiting new members. Since we started recruiting new students, until today, only 8 people have come to take a look around, and they were just out of curiosity. There are too many wolves and too little meat. Faced with this situation, she naturally accepted all the offers. However, she had clearly passed their interviews, but when they called them the next day to ask them to prepare their materials, they all stood her up with one excuse or another. Luo Wanqing was very angry about this. The literature club was founded by seniors in the 4th year. Now that they have graduated, the baton has been passed to her. I am really worried that it will be ruined by her. There are 5 members in the literature club, and all the work is done by her as the president herself, including preparing materials, defending thesis, finding an instructor, etc. But even so, this small group of literature still faces the problem of difficulty in recruiting new members. We originally thought that there would be a wave of people coming when new students reported, but the result was disappointing. Senior, is this the recruitment office for the literature club? Song Si pushed the door open and saw a pretty girl sitting there with a worried look on her face. He suspected that he had come to the wrong place. Luo Wanqing's eyes lit up. Are you here to sign up? Song Si. No, why are this senior sister's eyes shining? That expression is like a big bad wolf looking at a little goat entering the encirclement, wishing to swallow it up immediately. Song Si quickly stepped out and looked at the office sign again. Yes, it was the Literature Society recruitment office. Come in quickly. Luo Wanqing quickly stood up, walked to Song Si, and pulled him to sit on the chair. I'll pour you a cup of tea. Thank you. Faced with such an enthusiastic senior schoolmate, Song Si felt something was wrong. Was she the only one here? Luo Wanqing quickly brewed the tea and brought it to Song Si, then took the registration form and said, fill it out. Wait. Song Si felt that the process was too fast. This wasn't a marriage, so there was no need for an interview, right? Senior, no need for an interview. We have a relatively relaxed policy here. As long as you have a passion for literature, you can become a member of our literature club. Are you interested in literature? Like any books? Does writing a novel online count? Luo Wanqing was surprised, with a gleam in her eyes. This handsome guy is also an online writer, that's great. It is said that the quality of the members of their literature club is not very good. The few people who came here have neither any achievements nor their writing skills can be praised. I didn't expect that there would be such a talented person among the freshmen this year. Of course. May I ask what your pen name is and on which website do you serialize your novels? Chapter 21, Cold Yarman. Can I first understand the specific situation of our club? Song Si pushed the report away, always feeling that this literary club was a den of wolves. You wouldn't trick him into coming here and send him to Ganyarozi in northern Myanmar, would you? Although this situation is unlikely, we should still be on guard against others. Luo Wanqing murmured in her heart that this handsome guy was not easy to fool, so she had to make the situation sound more optimistic, otherwise the duck she had caught would run away again. She said, "We currently have 5 members in the club and they are all off work. You're leaving get off work so early during the busiest time for recruiting?" Song Si immediately raised his question. The main reason is that they are all juniors and seniors, and they are busy with graduate recruitment, so they get off work early. Luo Wanqing muttered to herself that even if she didn't leave work early, she would just stay here and use the air conditioning. I see. The literature club is seriously underrepresented. Only 5 people in such a large school is a real problem. When you organize team building, other clubs have hundreds of people, which makes us seem like we are left alone. How embarrassing. Luo Wanqing asked with some anticipation, "Do you have any good ideas?" It's not that I don't have a solution, but as a newcomer, no one will listen to me. Don't worry about that. The competent ones will get the job. As long as your opinions are beneficial to our community, we will take them seriously. It is not enough to just take action. My words must carry weight. I must do my job and fulfill my responsibilities. Luo Wanqing understood what he meant. The handsome guy wanted power and a high position. I was surprised. This guy had bad intentions. He wanted to be the leader of the club on the first day of the interview. Where did he get the courage? The club does have a vice president position, but it has been vacant since the senior graduated, and we haven't had time to elect a vice president yet. Luo Wanqing changed the subject and said, "But you have to be capable of doing this." Song Si sneered in his heart, "Stop talking about your ability to open and close your mouth. Can't I see that this is just a cold government office, the kind that is dispensable?" Song Si really wanted to join a club and make a difference, but now he was afraid that he would be disappointed. He had the idea of looking elsewhere, but he had no interest in other clubs. He couldn't let an online writer join the dance association. "Since you can't go anywhere else, just stay here and make your contribution. Although I can't find like-minded comrades to study literature, I can follow his rules and find a new path." Song Si looked at the senior student opposite him and said calmly, "You can check out the school website and the freshman forum. There's a lot of information about me there." "Oh, my name is Song Si." Song Si added, "You can say that I am a celebrity. I can attract attention wherever I go. With my fame, I will definitely attract widespread attention. The celebrity effect is popular now. With me here, our threshold will be broken." Luo Wanqing opened her phone and took a look, only to find that the handsome guy in front of her was the same person as the celebrity circulated on the internet. She was surprised. You are Song Si." "Guaranteed." Song Si picked up the teacup and took a sip, then said slowly, "So, will the vice president give it to me or not?" "Oh. Pretty straightforward." Luo Wanqing pushed the report to Song Si, "I wish us a happy cooperation." Song Si felt relieved. This was an agreement. Yes, he got a job as the vice president of an unpopular government office, and he has the capital to brag in front of Tang Shisha. Luo Wanqing was still tricked by Song Si and gave Song Si the title of vice president, directly appointing him without the election process. Song Si walked out of the literature club office humming a song. His cell phone rang in his pocket. He took it out and saw that it was a message from the school beauty, asking him where he had been. "Little squirrel, become an official now. Big lion, ? Little squirrel, I have won the position of president of the literature club. Please congratulate me. My girlfriend provided me with a lot of emotional value. She immediately sent me an admiring expression with the caption, 'Is the great writer going to pursue a career in politics?'" Looking at the message from his girlfriend, Song Si's brows relaxed and he replied, "In order to keep up with my girlfriend, I must work hard to develop new skills. What do you want to eat tonight? I'll treat you. Let us find a restaurant on the school south pedestrian street. We have to live stream in the evening, so we can't stay too late. Okay, I'll go over first and send it to you when I'm done." After hanging up the phone, Song Si rushed directly to the commercial street. During this period, people from the Brotherhood sent him messages to report the situation. Chu Huaixin joined the Photography Association, Jiang Haichao joined the Animation Club, Gao Yingjun joined the Badminton Club, and Wang Haiyang joined the Street Dance Association. Song Ci thought, well, they are all entertainment and leisure stuff, which shows how boring these guys are. Chu Huaixin tagged him in the brother group, Brother Ci, which club did you join? Song Ci replied proudly, sorry, I accidentally became the president of the literature club. Everyone. Song Ci, are you envious? Are you jealous? I can't help it. Although I don't want to pursue a career in government, the president is impressed by my influence and insists that I am a good candidate for being an official. Isn't he that infuriating? The Brotherhood is speechless. However, although the brothers were jealous and resentful, they did not forget to congratulate Song Ci for winning the position of vice president in his first time joining the literature club. Chu Huaixin, please treat me, Brother Ci. I wish you success in every step. Jiang Haichao, talents are given opportunities to develop and achieve great things. They are far-sighted and rise step by step. Wang Haiyang, good luck with your promotion. May you hold great power, live up to everyone's expectations, and achieve more success. Gao Yingjun, promotion is imminent. I wish you a smooth career, a bright future, and continuous advancement. Song Ci was speechless. You copied it from a web page. Wang Haiyang, don't worry about where you copied it. Being an official is a good thing. You have to treat us. Why not wait for a better day? Let us do it tonight. Chu Huaixin, call sister-in-law, we know your secret. Your first love and the school beauty last night are the same person. Did you know that Tang Shisher was your first love? Song Ci replied, I just found out last night. Jiang Haichao was the most excited, that's great, Brother Ci doesn't he have to be a scumbag anymore? Wang Haiyang, I can see that neither his first love nor the school beauty wants to give up on anyone. Luckily, it's just one person, otherwise, Ci would have to embrace them all. Gao Yingjun, the school website is full of legends about Brother Ci. His good friend wanted him to treat him, and Song Ci knew he couldn't get out of this matter, but he had already promised his girlfriend, so he had to hear her opinion. If she didn't want to, he could do it another day. If his girlfriend wants to spend some time alone with him, the presence of the brothel will only ruin the atmosphere. Song Ci found a barbecue restaurant, took out his phone and sent the address to Tang Shisha, and asked, brothers want to get to know you formally, when do you think is a good time? Tang Shisha was very easy to talk to, and she replied directly, let's go tonight, let them go together. Good. Chapter 22, Sister Luo Wanqing. Song Ci thought that his girlfriend was really considerate. Tonight's dinner was also the first time he and his brotherhood got together, so it was of great significance. If he left them behind to eat alone with his girlfriend, he would definitely be criticized and accused of putting women before friends. Now, I have the best of both worlds, with both a girlfriend and a brother. Shouted in the group of brothers, your sister-in-law and I are waiting for you at Kaolehui on the pedestrian street. When the brothers saw the news, they were overjoyed. So exciting. Even if I don't have a girlfriend, it's okay to be able to see my sister-in-law up close. The four of them attached great importance to this dinner and decided to go to the dormitory to dress up first. How do I look in a suit? Wang Haiyang is very fond of his suits. Jiang Haichao said disapprovingly, it's too hot, and Brother Ci is singing the lead tonight, don't steal his limelight. Chu Huaixin said, why do you care what he wears? If he doesn't mind the heat, let him wear it. Not to mention a suit, even if he wears a dragon robe, he can't steal the limelight from Brother Ci. He's just a fat pig, he can only attract attention. Wang Haiyang was devastated, no wonder you can't find a girlfriend when you talk like that. Chu Huaixin, you don't have it either. Wang Haiyang, I have small potatoes. I haven't caught up with you yet. It's not yours. Seeing that the two were arguing, Jiang Haichao quickly stopped them, shut up, Brother Ci and his wife are treating us tonight. If anyone makes a scene, I'll let Gao Yingjun beat him up. Gao Yingjun cooperated by stretching out his arms, I will beat up anyone who disrupts this party. Chu Huaixin and Wang Haiyang were done talking, and no one dared to say anything. Song Ci was waiting for someone at the entrance of Kaolehui. He saw the brothers coming from afar. Just as he was about to say hello, he found that the four guys were staring at a supermarket intently. He looked over with some curiosity and found that the girls in his class were shopping in the supermarket. When Yuan and Zhang Mingqi were among them, smiling as brightly as flowers. Song Si was deeply impressed by these two girls. They fell behind during the field training, and it was only because the brothers helped carry their backpacks that they were not left behind. Old Chu, stop looking. It's not yours even if you look at it. Chu Huaixing came back to his senses and glared at Wang Haoyang. I'm just curious about what they are buying. Jiang Haichao couldn't help but push Wang Haoyang. You can't catch up with him, can't you just let old Chu have a good look? Chu Huaixing was speechless and said, in our class, only when Yuan and Zhang Mingqi are outstanding in appearance, and they are definitely the class beauties. The rest are too ordinary for me to like. I want to find someone who is at least a school beauty, such as Luo Wanqing, the school beauty in the 3rd year. She has the perfect queen style, and I like her vibe. Gao Yingjun, who had been silent, suddenly looked up and said, have you added her on WeChat? I just added Yuan on WeChat. She is my sister-in-law's best friend. Chu Huaixing and Wang Haoyang opened their eyes wide after hearing this. Fuck, you're so quick. Gao Yingjun smiled embarrassedly. Brother Ci said that if you are not active in flirting with girls, you have a problem with your thinking. And she was the one who added me first. Chu Huaixing couldn't help but spit, his expression full of contempt. Just show off, don't brag about your popularity with women in front of me. I tell you, we are not in the same league. You just need to be female, but I am different. I am a rich 2nd generation, and my standards are high. Unless you are beauty like Luo Wanqing, otherwise, it would be redundant for me to look at you more than once. Song Si came over and said to him, who do you think is redundant? Just now I saw that your eyes were on Zhang Mingqi. What a boast! Chu Huaixing and the others only then noticed Song Si and asked in surprise, sister-in-law is here. Song Si said, she's busy. You guys go in. I'll wait for her outside. Alan Chu couldn't help but ask curiously, Brother Ci, who is treating us, you or your sister-in-law? Song Si wanted to continue to portray the image of a gigolo. Your sister-in-law is a wealthy woman. The 4 people were jealous again. Brother Ci, you want to lie down? Why is there such a big gap between people? They are all freshmen and they have nothing yet, but Brother Ci has already got the beauty. Not only that, the beauty is rich and supports him. The disparity is simply too big. After a while, Tang Shisher came over from the other end of the street. She also went home to change her clothes. She was dressed beautifully in a pink sleeveless dress, as fresh and beautiful as a newly opened flower bud. She attracted countless eyes as she walked along. Song Si was really worried that his girlfriend would be in danger. She didn't know how many men would covet her. What if she met a gangster? He quickly walked over, blocked the men's greedy gazes with his body, and welcomed her into the barbecue hall. The 4 people were still a little nervous when they saw Tang Shisha, and hurriedly stood up to greet her. Chu Huaixing took the lead, hello, sister-in-law. Wang Haoyang second, sister-in-law is so beautiful. After he finished speaking, Song Si slapped him in the face, stop staring at your sister-in-law, eat as much as you can. Wang Haoyang said embarrassedly, my eyes were fixed on the skewers. You're too stingy. You won't let me watch it even though I have a girlfriend. Tang Shisha also greeted the 4 people openly and generously, which made people feel very comfortable. Soon, the skewers of meat arrived and the 6 people started eating. Song Si handed Tang Shisha her favorite garlic eggplant while eating it himself, taking care of his girlfriend and eating at the same time without delaying either. To the 4 single men, this scene was a blatant display of affection. The more Song Si took care of his girlfriend, the more bitter they felt. Fuck. Look, there's a beautiful girl. Just when the 4 men were being tortured by Song Si to the point of being bored, Wang Haoyang suddenly exclaimed loudly. Everyone at the table followed his gaze and saw a beautiful woman walking in from the entrance of Kaole Hui. The moment Chu Huaixing saw the girl, his eyes froze. I can't help but think about it. Just when I wanted to pursue her, she came to me impatiently. At the entrance of the hall, a beautiful woman in black stockings walked in slowly. She wore a white short-sleeved shirt and a black hip skirt, revealing her long, slender, and mysterious legs. Her slender waist was beautifully outlined. Although the shirt was not tight, it had a tight effect because of her great figure. As he got closer, he could clearly see that this was a standard oval-faced beauty with rosy lips, charming eyes and eyebrows, and a swaying and graceful step. She looked like a complete queen, exactly the type that Chu Huaixing liked. The four people took a glimpse of the beauty, and it was as if their souls were taken away. The sense of amazement that Zhang Minqi and Wen Yuan created for them disappeared without a trace in an instant. What? There are two beauties in the class, Zhang Minqi is the first and Wen Yuan is the second. Now it seems that neither of them is as good as Yu Jie. In terms of temperament, they can't compare. But soon, they found something wrong. The royal sister was coming towards their table. Soon, the four boys were panicked and at a loss. Chu Huaixing even wondered, could it be that she knew that he had a crush on her and came to confirm it? Luo Wanqing had just returned to school from her part-time job. When she saw Song Ci eating at the door, she came in to say hello. She walked to the table with a decent smile on her delicate face and glanced at the people at the table. There were 5 men and 1 woman, so the probability of there being a couple was very low. That is, why is Song Ci getting so close to this little beauty? Do you want to take advantage? Har, man. The 4 wimps didn't even dare to look up when they saw Tang Shisha. They were so nervous at that moment that they pretended to look away, talked about other things, and subconsciously sat up straight and straightened their hair, which was already so smooth that it looked like it had been licked by a dog. But what they didn't expect was that the girl actually walked up to them, brushed away her scattered hair with her hand, and then looked at Song Ci. Is the president eating here? Chapter 23, The Variations of Life. Senior. Have you eaten? Not a single piece left. Song Ci subconsciously looked at Tang Shisha and found that she didn't care much, so he breathed a sigh of relief. This situation can easily lead to misunderstanding. Just imagine that you are having dinner with your girlfriend and good friends, and suddenly a beautiful girl comes over to chat with you. It would be strange if your girlfriend is not jealous. So, he didn't take the initiative to say hello, but waited for Luo Wanqing to speak before responding. I've eaten. I saw you at the door and came over to say hello. Go over early tomorrow and I'll introduce you to some of the club's members. Good. The club is recruiting new members. I hope the president can come up with an effective plan to fill our literary club. Song Ci said, it's time to get off work now. Senior sister, can you please stop assigning me tasks? I'll send you a WeChat message when I have a plan. Luo Wanqing didn't expect Song Ci to be so disrespectful. Wasn't he just reminding him to work quickly? Why was he blaming her for disturbing him? It was her fault for being too impatient. Once she caught a capable person, she wanted to put him to work immediately. She smiled and said, well, I believe that the president will definitely lead our literature club to the top. I won't disturb your dinner. Goodbye. Song Ci waved his hand, bye. Chu Huaixing and Wang Haoyang were both stunned. They looked at Luo Wanqing and then at Song Ci. Just sending the goddess away like that. The senior student left happily, waving goodbye without taking a single cloud with her. Chu Huaixing was almost about to swear, luckily Tang Shisha was there. He was the first to accuse Song Ci, Brother Ci, please be careful with your words. How could you be impatient with the school beauty? Wang Haoyang said, that's right, Brother Ci, I was so nervous just now that my palms were sweating, can't you be gentle with me? Song Ci was speechless, and he put his arm around Tang Shisha, listen to me, I only treat your sister-in-law with pity and care. For singles. This show of affection is so fucking good. But this made the for single guys even more upset. Why are there so many disparities in life? Tang Shisha blinked her beautiful eyes, a smile flashing in her eyes. She felt uncomfortable because the senior schoolmate kept calling her president. However, she was immediately comforted by Song Ci's words. Then she thought about Song Ci's attitude towards the senior schoolmate, which was very businesslike and a little impatient. It was obvious that they were just working colleagues. A party, until 11 o'clock. Chu Huaixing and Wang Haoyang got drunk and were helped back by Jiao Yingjun and Jiang Haichao. Under the warm yellow street lights, the breeze brought a bit of coolness to this city that had been ravaged by high temperatures all day. Song Ci wanted to hold Tang Shisha's hand, but Tang Shisha dodged him without leaving a trace. It's just a lonely thing. The road ahead is dark, bumpy and hard to walk on. How about you hold my arm and I'll be your crutch? Song Ci looked at Tang Shisha seriously, with a righteous expression, as if to say, don't worry, beauty, I really don't have any other intentions. Tang Shisha gently lifted the hair beside her ear, looked at the brightly lit, wide and smooth road ahead, and said helplessly, I appreciate your kindness, but I'd better not take advantage of you. Song Si wanted to say, I am happy to let you take all of me, just open your heart and take me. The two walked towards the community. When they were about to reach the door of the unit, Tang Shisha reminded Song Si, have you read the 3 rules? You must abide by them after reading them. Song Si thought, what's the point of abiding by the 3 rules? They were just an unequal treaty. After reading them, he really wanted to pry open her brain to see how she wrote them. First, respect each other's space and freedom. One party should respect the other party's personal space and freedom, and not impose too many restrictions and interference. Second, avoid physical conflicts. Do not use physical force under any circumstances and stay calm and rational. Third, daily communication. Both parties should maintain a certain frequency of communication, such as talking at least twice a week to share the status of life and work. Song Si's interpretation of the 3 rules is, first, you and I should each act on our own and not disturb each other. Second, do not engage in any intimate behavior and stay calm at all times. Third, I have the final say on when to favor you. Of course, the favor here is limited to conversation and communication. This greatly restricted his performance, as he still wanted to get his girlfriend as soon as possible. Just as Wang Haiyang wished, he took her home to meet his parents during the National Day holiday. Restricted by these 3 rules, it will take you a long time to win the heart of your girlfriend. Although their relationship is boyfriend and girlfriend now, it needs to be further developed. If you don't even have a chance to attack, then the possibility of human reproduction will be ruined. Well, I have a lot of classes today, so I haven't read the 3 rules you sent. I'll take a look when I have time, but I can't guarantee when I'll have time. You can see that the senior sister is chasing me to work during meals, so I'm actually very busy. If I don't read it, you can't expect me to obey it. I don't want to abide by such 3 rules for the rest of my life. Song Si discovered that the school belle was not only aloof, but also very smart and able to maximize benefits for herself. Even if we live under the same roof, you can't take advantage of her. TSK, the road to becoming the school belle is a long and arduous one. After Tang Shisha finished washing up, she went into the bedroom and started the live broadcast. Song Si felt very bored. He sighed in his heart that he had a girlfriend who was very career-oriented and had to endure loneliness and coldness all the time. Back in my bedroom, I thought about the development of the literary club. The first thing is to recruit people. How can you talk about development if you don't even have people? Print some recruitment ads tomorrow and use him as bait to attract those girls to sign up. The recruitment poster should have a fancy copy, which was not difficult for Song Si. He sat up and started writing the copy on the computer. Youth is a beautiful and wonderful time. The Literature Club welcomes all students who love literature to record the footprints of youth and traces of love in words. Here, you can show your writing talent and express your inner feelings. Whether it is prose, novel or poetry, each work is a shining star that will light up your youthful path. Finally, Song Si wrote, Song Si, the president of the Literature Club, a handsome guy who loves literature, is waiting for your arrival. The copy was sent to Luo Wanqing, asking her to find someone to design it and print several copies. When Luo Wanqing saw his copy, she sent him an admiring expression and wrote, as expected of a great writer, the copy is so good. Song Si asked, what's so good about it? It's just an ordinary copywriting. You are too flattering. Luo Wanqing replied, no, I was touched by this sentence. Using words to record the footprints of youth and traces of love is very touching. Song Si took a closer look and found it possible. He is a novelist, but he doesn't have such writing skills. Who would read his works? Chapter 24 My Rich Second-Generation School Beauty Girlfriend. Brother Si, did you kneel on the keyboard last night? The next morning, as soon as Song Si arrived in class, Wang Haiyang asked him something without any context. Song Si wondered, why kneel on the keyboard? No. Wang Haiyang obviously didn't believe it, we all saw it last night. Senior Luo Wanqing is interested in you. Isn't your sister-in-law jealous? Your sister-in-law is not so petty. She has a big vision. Besides, Luo Wanqing came to me for work. You're just making it up. We outsiders can see clearly that sister-in-law was clearly angry last night. She looked at Luo Wanqing with hostility. Come on, forget it. You know her better than I do. I've been dating her for 3 years, and I know exactly what her expression means. Wang Haoyan was skeptical. Is it true? Song Si said, it's more real than pearls. Chu Huaixing snorted coldly, you are not jealous because your sister-in-law does not love you enough. In the situation last night, any girl would be jealous. Song Si sneered at his words, you are a single dog, you know nothing. See, you're angry out of shame. I saw you interacting with your sister-in-law last night, and you didn't seem very close. We just met in person, how close can we be? There has to be a process. Song Si smiled bitterly in his heart. The other person's 3 rules have restricted him, so how can we be close? No, you said it's been 3 years, shouldn't we not even hold hands? Of course I did. Song Si replied perfunctorily. I silently added in my mind that the progress is a bit slow. My girlfriend is too shrewd, like she is guarding against a thief. Jiang Haichao couldn't stand Chu Huaixing teasing Song Si, and directly sprayed, don't talk nonsense, you can't eat grapes and say grapes are sour. I don't know who pretended to be cool last night and posted a short essay on social media, saying what it feels like to be chased by 2 school beauties, what it feels like to be caught in a dilemma, and afraid of losing one thing while focusing on the other, what a broken knife draws water, the water flows more, and drinking to forget sorrow makes sorrow more sorrowful, and what rich second generations never lack love. Your pretentiousness directly triggered public opinion. Look at the comments below, they are all scolding you for Dogecoin. You're talking nonsense. They all envy me. Wang Datu said, yes, they envy you for having 2 girlfriends who are campus beauties. Dreams are full of hope, but reality is very skinny. You must be very disappointed when you wake up from your dream. What's the short essay? Song Si asked them. Jiang Haichao took out his phone and showed it to him. The short essay written by Chugo was posted on the school forum, which immediately triggered public opinion and was criticized by everyone. Song Si clicked on it and saw that the number of comments had reached over 999, which really attracted a lot of traffic. Song Si didn't find it strange. It was not surprising for someone like Chu Huaixing who loved to show off to do such a thing. He suddenly thought of the literary club and wondered if he could use this tactic to attract a wave of people. This is how the internet works. The more unconventional your actions are, the more attention you'll get. If the literature club continues to follow the usual path, I'm afraid that in a few years, school clubs like the literature club may no longer exist. Still have to follow the trend. Then reform is necessary. The Literary Society, as the name suggests, was born for literature. But there are so many schools in the country, and almost every school has a literary club, but how many great writers have come out of these literary clubs? Therefore, we should develop more literary peripherals to promote the literary club. At noon, Song Si asked Tang Shisher to have lunch in the cafeteria and they started talking about this topic. Song Si handed a big lion head to his girlfriend. Tang, what do you think our literature club should do? Tang Shisher looked up at him and said, aren't literary clubs for like-minded people to get together to discuss literature, or to write together? Song Si shook his head. There are many people who love literature, but few people can study literature together or write together. How many of your friends are engaged in the writing industry? I'm afraid there aren't many. Tang Shisher looked at the lion's head that Song Si picked up for her. She didn't know whether to eat it or not. She felt very embarrassed. It seemed that he had picked it up with his chopsticks just now. This reminded her of a word, indirect kiss. After hesitating for a moment, she picked up the lion's head and took a small bite. As she ate, she said, there really aren't many of them. That's why I admire you, a promising writer. Song Si found these words very useful. His vanity was instantly filled. His girlfriend was too good at talking. She had a perfect grasp of the emotional value. I'm just an online writer. I'm not as good as you think. On the contrary, you insist on live streaming every night and balancing your career and studies. That's what makes people admire you more. No, why are you blushing? Tang Shisher ate the lion's head meat and her imagination became more and more wild as she ate. She even imagined the 2 of them kissing, and her face became as red as a cooked shrimp. Hot. Tang Shisher said hurriedly. The air conditioner is turned on quite high. I can feel the cool breeze. Song Si did not doubt it and even looked up at the central air conditioning on the ceiling. Tang Shisher was afraid that Song Si would see through her thoughts, so she quickly replied perfunctorily, it's just hot, maybe there are too many people. Song Si suddenly realized, yes, there are too many people, and the heat emitted by their breath is too much, so it feels a bit hot. He also had doubts in his heart. He, who was afraid of heat, had not felt the heat yet, but the school beauty was blushing and complaining about the heat. Could it be that she had a physique that was prone to heat? Tang Shisha didn't dare to imagine anything more, and quickly continued the previous topic. She said modestly, "My mother is in the cosmetics business, so I was exposed to this field at an early age. There is nothing to admire. So that's how it is." Song Si didn't expect that his future mother-in-law would actually sell cosmetics. This profession makes a lot of money and there's nothing wrong with it. It is now 2018, and live streaming sales have been popular for 2 years. Now is the right time to get on board. Tang Shisha suggested, "If you want to make peripheral products, I suggest you shoot short videos or short dramas. I think this will be a trend in the next few years." This was told to her by her mother, who is a businesswoman. She said that people from all walks of life will use the internet to make money in the future because this is the trend. My mother's business is so big that she has built several branches abroad. She also sells cosmetics online and offline, with remarkable results. Song Si was a little surprised. Short videos and short plays. Yes, my mother said this is the trend, and business will be inseparable from the internet in the future. Your mother sells cosmetics, how can she know so much? Well, their products are selling very well, and they have customers all over the world. Ahem. Song Si almost spit out a mouthful of soup. He was too superficial. He thought his future mother-in-law just ran a beauty salon, but he didn't expect it was a multinational company. How big is your mother's company? I don't know. She has factories in several countries, Germany, France, and Italy. Song Si blurted out, "Are you a rich second generation?" Chapter 25, The Literary Society Must Be Reformed. Song Si was really surprised by the news. He didn't expect his girlfriend to have such a good family background. This also made him more determined to make money. Tang Shisha may not have this kind of class concept, but her mother-in-law's family may not. What should he do if her family dislikes his poverty and prevents them from being together? So, he must achieve something to be worthy of such a good girlfriend. With this idea in mind, Song Si became more motivated. After school, he rejected the invitation from his friends to play together and went straight to the literature club. Today Song Si met all the members of the literature club. All 5 members arrived, and when they saw him, they looked at him curiously. President Luo had already told them about their vice president's situation. When they really met this famous man, their first impression was that he was quite handsome. No wonder there was a lot of talk online that there was a school hunk in class 6 of the computer department who had won over the new school belle as soon as he arrived. Now looking at this divine appearance, they felt that this development was really normal. A handsome man and a beautiful woman, they were a perfect match. That's right, the 2 boys are still a little jealous. Luo Wanqing hurriedly introduced them. "This is Zhang Wenwen, this is Shang Wenju, this is Wenxi, and this is Liang Songjie." As you can tell from their names, Zhang Wenwen and Wenxi are girls, both of whom are very pretty, while the other 2 are boys, and the thing they have in common is that they all wear glasses, making them look more like scoundrels. "Hello, my name is Song Si. We will be colleagues from now on. I hope we can work together to make our literature club flourish. Students can put forward good suggestions. As long as they are beneficial to the development of our literary club, we will definitely adopt them." Except for Luo Wanqing, the other 4 were all stunned. How could such a big move happen just after arriving? Is it possible that no official can escape this law that a new official has to make 3 big moves upon taking office? Liang Songjie said, "Vice President, isn't our current task to recruit new members? There shouldn't be any need for any comments on this, right?" Shang Wenju also said, "We just saw the recruitment poster you sent to President Luo, and we think this is a good way to advertise. By using your fame, you will definitely attract a large number of seniors and juniors." He still had an expectant look on his face after he said this, and that look seemed a bit obscene in Song Si's eyes. Damn, is he asking him to be a pimp? He is not a brothel owner. Zhang Wenwen and Wenxi didn't show any expression. Of course, they didn't have any objections. The president had the final say and they just had to execute it. But Song Si said, "Recruiting new members is the primary issue, but reform is also imminent. If we don't reform the current situation of our literature club, we will be eliminated in the future, and we won't even be able to raise a penny of club funds. Since you have elected me as the president, I will lead you all to create a new world. After Song Si finished speaking, he looked at the 5 members, scanning them one by one with scrutiny. Breaking into a new world. The 5 people looked at each other. They were willing to do so, but they were afraid that they would not be able to break into it. To be honest, after being in the literature club for so long without achieving any results, they all began to doubt their original decision and wondered whether they had made the right decision to join the literature club. But they have persisted for 3 years. With a passion for literature, they joined in with great enthusiasm and confidence. However, after joining, they found that the facts were not as they thought and there was no room for them to perform at all. I come here and sit for a while every day. Apart from discussing things in the literary world, such as a certain writer winning another award or a certain writer's novel being made into a TV series, there is nothing I can do except envy others' success. They also complained about the incompetence of their leaders, but after several presidents were replaced, the new officials would make 3 big moves for a while, but all was a lot of noise but little action, and finally things returned to calm. Now a new president comes and threatens to lead everyone to create a new world right from the start. They naturally think that this is just the first 3 fires of a new official, which will die out after a while. Therefore, these people in the literature club, including Luo Wanqing, did not hold out much hope. Song Si also realized that this group of people just wanted to succeed, but they were afraid that he was just acting on a whim and would not place too much hope on him. Perhaps he had been tortured by the previous presidents. He is not just shouting slogans, but now they definitely won't believe him just by words. Their key is to achieve some results to gain their trust. He looked at Luo Wanqing and asked, "Have you finished designing the cover page of the new student recruitment poster I asked you to design last night?" Luo Wanqing pointed at her computer and said, "It's designed. Please review it." Song Si took her computer, looked at it, and thought it was okay, so he said to them, "How about this, split into 2 groups, 2 people go to print, 2 people go with me to contact the squad leaders, and 1 person stays behind to take charge." Based on the principle that men and women working together will not be tiring, Song Si arranged a man and a woman to print. He, Liang Songjie, and when she contacted the class leaders, leaving Luo Wanqing, the president, to stay at the headquarters. Liang Songjie and Wenxi followed him out of the literature club office, still a little confused. They just followed Song Si out, giving up on enjoying the cool comfort in the air-conditioned office. Is the new president so proactive? Well, what do we want to do by contacting the class leaders? Liang Songjie asked. Of course it's to recruit new members for our club. The posters have been printed, but we can't hand them out one by one. It's so hot in this weather, so we won't study with those people who advertise astigmatism. Wenxi was stunned. You mean to ask the class leaders to hand out flyers to us? But how can they listen to us? That depends on what we do. We need to be careful about how and when we do things. As long as we treat this as a task assigned by the student union and go to them, do you think they will take care of it? It's just distributing club recruitment posters in each class. Of course, if you go to them directly, they will refuse because it's not within their job scope. But if you find the student union first and ask them for help, it will be easy to handle. It is a private matter of the club, but as long as the student union members get involved, it is no longer a private matter and can be treated as a public matter. After reading so many novels, Song Si felt that it was not in vain, as he learned a lot of the essence of doing things. Liang Songjie and Wenxi were dumbfounded. How could it be done this way? Isn't this just using chicken feathers as a token of authority? He is afraid that the student union members will not cooperate. Isn't the new president having a bit of unrealistic ideas? There are so many clubs in the school. If all of them were like this, the class monitors would be very busy. The 2 of them remained silent, and in their hearts they didn't think Song Si could accomplish this task. At 5 o'clock in the afternoon, the sun was scorching the earth. Liang Songjie wiped the sweat from his face and regretted following the new president out to do something useless. Wouldn't it be nice to stay in the air-conditioned office? Why did he follow him out to do useless work? I think there's something wrong with our president's brain. Liang Songjie pointed to his head and whispered to Wenxi. Keep your voice down, the president is walking in front. Wenxi pointed at Song Si in front of her. She also felt that Song Si's trip was in vain. Chapter 26, The Wolf is Coming, but no one believes it. On their way to the student union, Song Si called Chu Huixing and asked about the situation of the student union, including who he was familiar with. It is easier to get things done with acquaintances. In today's society, you can hardly get anywhere without connections. Even though you are at school, if you don't know the people, they won't be nice to you. Chu Huixing asked him to find Wang Chao, who was his good friend and the director of the study department of the student union. Song Si thought this was the best, and someone who was specifically in charge of studying would be even more powerful. He didn't expect his buddy to have such a wide network of contacts, and he immediately praised him. Chu Huixing on the opposite side was so proud. What's that? Don't worry, we have someone above us. Well, I tell you, you should come to our literature club. We are in need of talents like you. Don't make fun of me. I have never passed an essay test since I was a child. If it weren't for my good grades in math, physics and chemistry, I probably wouldn't have been able to get into university. You misunderstood. We didn't ask you to write an essay. Our agency is in need of a photographer. Chu Huixing was surprised. The literature club is recruiting photographers. We are going to develop the surrounding area. We will shoot short videos and so on. We just need a photography master like you. Is that so? Then I have to go and give it a try. To be honest, my talent is not fully utilized in the photography club. Yes, you can't be buried by them over there. Come here quickly, I will bring you here tomorrow. Chu Huixing readily agreed, thinking that perhaps working with Brother Ci would help him to bring his talents into full play. Song Ci and the other two came to the student union and knocked on the office door. A voice called, "Come in," was heard from inside and 3 people walked in one after another. Who are you looking for? A senior student wearing glasses at the desk looked at Song Ci and asked with a frown. It's like this. Song Ci took a step forward and said, I'm looking for Minister Wang. Minister Wang just left. You guys wait here. The senior with glasses pointed to a row of sofas against the wall and said, sit anywhere. Song Ci and the other two had no choice but to sit and wait for people. I took this opportunity to look around the office. The student union's office is much better than their literature club. See. The student union has a much better office environment than ours. When we become rich, we will also have a spacious office. Liang Songjie thought to himself, you can talk about this after you become rich. Now you haven't even started yet, so what's the point of making such big promises? What's with your expression? Song Ci saw Liang Songjie's face full of disdain and felt that this guy would not cooperate at all. What I mean is that it's better not to make such big promises now. It's useless. Liang Songjie was speechless. You don't believe me. I believed in you, and I still do, but I don't know how long it will last. Liang Songjie said, because the previous president also boasted that he would lead our literary club to glory. But it didn't take long for him to give up. I'm not sure how far you can take us. Let's wait and see. There is a saying that goes, if you don't have hope, you won't be disappointed. Oh, you've really been tortured a lot. Your former president made a lot of promises to you. Some are even bigger than what you drew. The previous president said he would bring out 5 great writers, but until he graduated, our literature club didn't have a single successful submission. There was also a president who said that within 3 years, we would all become members of the Municipal Writers Association. At the time, we thought he was just making empty promises, but he swore that he had connections in the Municipal Writers Association and that joining the association would be as easy as joining his own home. What's the result? In the end, we waited for 3 years in vain. We lived those 3 years like a year a day. You don't know, I dreamed that I became a member of the Writers Association, but when I woke up, I was nothing. Liang Songjie was a little depressed, and Song Ci suddenly felt very sympathetic towards them. It was not a good thing to have a leader who was too good at making empty promises. Look how poisoned they are. They have been shouting "wolf" so many times that now they dare not believe that the real wolf has come. Don't be discouraged. I'm not just making empty promises. I've already planned the future development direction. When she was curious and asked, President, how did you plan it? Can you tell me? Well, I'll talk about this in detail during the meeting. Now let's recruit a few capable people. Aren't you interested in literature? What other abilities do you need? Not only do you have to be interested in literature, you also need other skills, such as being a photographer, screenwriter, director, editor, stage manager, and actor. These talents will be used in the future development of the community. Liang Songjie was surprised. You want to make a movie? That's about right. Think about it, why didn't the big plans that the previous presidents painted for you come true? Because it's simply impossible to be realistic. Becoming a great writer, joining the Writers Association, these are all just fooling people. If our literary club wants to develop, we have to do something practical, such as developing peripheral products, shooting videos, and short plays. All of these are possible. Once the traffic increases, we can attract advertising and investment, and the money will come to us. Why not do it? Liang Songjie and Wenxi were both surprised when they heard this. This president was even more unreliable. He actually wanted to lead them to make money. This was a literary club, not a financial institution. Not reliable. Unreliable. The two looked at each other, their expressions were indescribable. Liang Songjie said to Wenxi, "How about we find a chance to escape?" Wenxi said, "That's not a good idea. What will I say to the president tomorrow? It's embarrassing to see him everywhere. Let's just wait and see what happens. Anyway, we'll just accompany him and not hold out any hope. But I don't want to waste my time following him." Liang Songjie wanted to say something when a senior student walked in from outside. Seeing that there were people in the office, he asked the person sitting there, "What do they do?" The person sitting in the office was the vice president of the student union. When he saw him, he hurriedly said, "Old Wang, they are all looking for you." "Hello, Minister Wang." Song Ci quickly stood up and shook hands with Wang Chao. "I am Song Ci, the president of the literature club. I came here to talk to you about something." "What's the matter?" Wang Chao glanced at him, his attitude not very enthusiastic. "Here's the thing. Our literature club is recruiting new members and has made a lot of efforts, but the results are not very significant. So, I would like to ask you for a favor. I can't help you with recruiting new members." Wang Chao refused directly. All clubs are recruiting new members, and they all rely on the strength of their own clubs. I know this. I'm worried about this. The literature club is an unpopular club and can't recruit many people. If we don't come up with a solution, our literature club will be disbanded. My good friend Chu Huaixing asked me to come to you to think of a solution. He said there is nothing that Minister Wen can't do. Are you Chu Huaixing's buddy? Wang Chao's attitude really changed. Chapter 27, A Crowd of Visitors. Sure enough, when Song Ci said Chu Huaixing's name, Wang Chao's expression eased a lot. It can be seen that he has a good relationship with Chu Huaixing. Although our student union doesn't care about recruiting new members for clubs, we can't just ignore you if you have any difficulties. How about this, let's see how I can help you. Minister Wang is so enthusiastic. I knew it. Chu Huaixing told me to find Minister Wen if I have anything to do. I really didn't find the wrong person. It's just publicity, distributing posters to each class. That's easy. I'll send a message to the class leaders and ask them to cooperate with your literature club in publicity. That's great. No wonder Chu Huaixing said that Minister Wang is decisive and capable. There is a reason why you, a sophomore, can serve as the minister of the student union. Wang Chao found this very useful. He approached his good friend to do something for him, and the man was quite good at talking to him, which did not make him feel disgusted at all. What else did this kid Chu Huaixing say to you about me? He said that you two were brothers who grew up together, and that you protected him since he was young, and you also took good care of him when he grew up. He said that you are a good brother with whom he can confide, and that you are his real brother. After listening to this, Wang Chao smiled and said, "This kid is quite sensible. Well, go back and tell Chu Huaixing to come see me when he is free." Okay, I won't bother Minister Wang anymore. Sorry for the trouble. Song Ci took Liang Songjie and Wenxi out of the student apartment. The two followed behind, still a little bit unbelieving. Was it done so quickly? They just witnessed the whole process. At first the minister directly refused, but when the president brought up his friend, the minister changed his attitude and readily agreed to help. In short, the reversal was quite quick. Liang Songjie and Wenxi had a new understanding of the new president's ability to get things done. "President, is this all right?" Wenxi asked, unable to contain his excitement. Song Ci was a little proud. "Yes, that's easy. Tomorrow morning, we will send the printed posters to the class. The class monitor will distribute them to us." Of course, they will also do a good job of promoting us. The president is awesome. Wency said excitedly, this way, we don't have to go around handing out flyers. Every year when the clubs recruit new members, they have to distribute flyers all over the school. They are exhausted every day and return to the dormitory in wet clothes. Their roommates dislike their sweaty smell. This year I finally don't have to suffer this pain. Liang Songjie looked at the two people in front of him and thought to himself that this new president was good at finding shortcuts. This is a good thing, as it saves their club a lot of manpower and resources. In comparison, the previous president seemed a bit pedantic. They originally had no hope, but the president managed to get it done, which made them feel very happy. The next morning, Chu Huaixing walked into the classroom carrying a stack of promotional posters and asked the students in the front row to pass them to the back. The literature club is recruiting new members. Anyone interested can sign up. The handsome guy Song Ci from our class is the president of the club. You can talk to him to learn more. Chu Huaixing glanced around, cleared his throat and said, in addition, there is another good news. I, Chu Huaixing, the school idol of the computer department, will also go to the literature club to display my talents and work with President Song. Don't miss them if you pass by. The two most handsome boys on campus are waiting for you in the literature club. I want to sign up. Class monitor, are there any girls? I want to sign up. There are lots of girls, and they are all beauties, hurry up and sign up. Oh, so all the pretty sisters went to the literature club. No wonder I couldn't find them. You can tell from the looks of it that your motives are not pure. I also want pure motives, but the prerequisite is that you have to find me a girlfriend. Song Ci felt that it was a bit shameful for Chu Huaixing to use beautiful women and handsome men for advertisement, although it coincided with his method. The news that Chu Huaixing was going to join the literary club caused a sensation among the brothers. Jiang Haichao asked first, didn't you join the photography club? Why did you join the literature club? Wang Haiyang also said, how much can you not live without Brother Ci? Brother Ci went to the literature club and you followed him to join in the fun. How can a sparrow know the ambition of a swan? What can I do in the photography association? Brother Ci wants to make a movie, and I want to lend a hand to him. It just so happens that I have first-class photography skills, and I may be the backbone of the literature club. Do you want to come? The three of them looked at Song Ci, their eyes full of expectation, if for nothing else, then just so that the brothers could fight side by side. Brother Ci, I can cook delicious food, said Wang Haiyang. Jiang Haichao said, Brother Ci, you also know my specialty. I am good at animation design. Gao Yingjun didn't want to be left behind, so he started to show off his big muscles. Brother Ci, I can fight. I can take on 3 people at once. Song Ci was speechless. What the hell? We live in a society ruled by law, don't give me the chivalry of the underworld. Gao Yingjun said, you want to make a movie, so I will be a martial arts actor. Song Ci thought this was good. He was going to shoot an ancient drama in the future and this kid would be useful. Okay, then come on. Follow me, I will help you all reach the peak of your life. Song Ci painted a big picture for them, and the brotherhood was one. With their joining, the literary club was like a tiger with wings. The next day, the literature club was packed with people. Looking at the bustling crowd, Luo Wanqing was so excited that she spoke incoherently. Our literature club hasn't been so lively for a long time. Liang Songjie and several members were busy, and called her to help quickly. Senior sister, wait a moment and get the registration form first. Okay, everyone take your positions. When Song Ci arrived at the literature club, he found that the gate was blocked, so he hurriedly asked Chu Huaixing and others to go in to help. You guys will be directly admitted, go in and register for them, but the conditions are strict. If you don't have special skills or talents, you will be regarded as a hooligan and rejected directly. Chu Huaixing was confused, and even Liang Songjie didn't understand. President, it's so easy for so many people to come, we can't drive them away. The threshold you set is too high, it will scare them away. Song Ci said, things are different now. We are not short of people now. We are recruiting talents for the next step of development. You recruited some useless people and you just pay them wages. Also, those people with bad intentions come in just to find girls. If they come in, it's not enough for us to lick them. Luo Wanqing felt that Song Ci was right. If a boy sneaked in with bad intentions and took the female members of the club out, it would be a big trouble. Let's recruit new members according to the standards mentioned by the vice president. In order to prevent future troubles, we must select good talents from the beginning. Song Si said, "That's right, take a long-term view." Chu Huaishan, Jiang Haichao and others moved out several tables, arranged them in a line, and registered new members. The office was overcrowded and could no longer accommodate so many people. Song Si looked at the crowded crowd and was in a good mood. In just one night, the literature club recruited 50 members, breaking the record. Moreover, these talents are all available for recruitment for future development. Song Si was very satisfied and talked about it with his girlfriend when he got home. The literature club is recruiting new members, it's off to a good start. Congratulations, President. What should we do next? The next step is to cooperate with literary websites and film those popular works into short dramas. Of course, we also want to shoot short videos. I have thought about it and we also want to build our own website. Only in this way can we achieve comprehensive development. Tang Shisha gave a thumbs up and said sincerely, "Mr. President, you have a good vision, but have you ever thought about it? These things require costs. Have you attracted any investment?